All right, we are live. How's everybody doing? Our YouTube watchers, can you give me a sound check, please? Just to make sure everything's good to go. Appreciate if you guys give me a sound check. Make sure you can hear all of us. You guys want to say something? Mike and Mike?
Oh,
give me some
hello.
audio.
We're still here.
All right.
Hello.
All right, good.
I am the ghost here version of myself, a little bit under the weather tonight, but I am here.
Yeah, Kings is under the weather, and I'm sure he looks like he just rolled out of bed. So we'll save his good graces tonight, and we'll just let his avatar represent himself tonight. So welcome everybody. It's gonna be a good show tonight. We got so much packed into one show. I'm gonna definitely be a train conductor tonight. Make sure we get it chugging along. Make sure everything's on time tonight. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, then we are a go. Here we go. 3, 2. Hey, what's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 297 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, Todd the Gator, and I'm a day one Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. This week we have another guest episode, but first I have to give credit to my guest co-host, my co-host tonight, Kingsley Mack. He's a little under the weather tonight, so his avatar is going to be representing him tonight. How you doing, Kingsley? You doing okay, man? You going to make it through the night?
Good enough. But yeah, hey, those just listening to the audio after the fact, you don't even know any better. You're
That's right.
Hearing me this way.
Yeah, I'll edit that part
yeah,
out.
I'm here.
I'll edit that part out.
I'm here, barely.
For those of you who may have just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise. And we like to sprinkle in some entertainment and other topics of discussion relating to our hobbies from time to time as well. I mean, we're not straight-laced Destiny all the time. We got to have a little fun. But we have been producing audio episodes for almost 6 years now. As of July, it'll be 6 years. And as the game is involved, we've involved as well. So we now produce a live version of our show on YouTube, Twitch, and now our Discord stage channel where you can interact with us live while we're podcasting. We're live. You guys can talk to us right now while we're podcasting, but preferably not mid-sentence when I'm like I did last week. But Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is when our show goes live every week. We'll also have a replay of tonight's show on my YouTube channel, and I believe there's a replay on Twitch as well if you want to watch it back. Yeah, and for those of you who listen on the podcast apps out there, welcome. And you can also go to our website, guardiandowncast.com, and listen to any of our individual episodes as well whenever you like. Well, in this episode, we have a first-time guest on the show tonight. He's been a member of the Guardian Downcast community for over 2 years now. He's been an active part of our community, and I just want to learn more about him. So please welcome to the show, Magic Mike. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, got a good speaking voice. I like it. Well, in this episode, we'll first interview Magic Mike, get to know more about him and his Destiny journey. We'll conclude the interview with my 25 random questions that I curated from a list of over 1,000 questions that have been submitted over the years by our community. It's a long time running segment we call the SpeedRun. Of course, along the way, we'll catch up with our week as we normally do every week. And we'll quickly review This Week in Destiny. It's the weekly Bungie blog that informs of the current events in Destiny 2. Of course, we'll give the abbreviated version with most of the important info for the week. I've created something new in our Discord community that was actually a suggestion from one of our members, Jimmy Rayner, and that is the question of the week. Yeah. So I'll ask a random question every Monday morning, and I'll share the results live on our show. So if you want to participate in our next question of the week, look for that channel in our GDC section of channels, our Guardian Downcast section of channels. And I might even share some of the comments as well live on the show. For those of you who may have maybe skip some of the episodic content and might be wondering, what builds can I make for episode 3 Heresy? No more Warlock builds. I have 3 basic builds, well, for Warlock, Titan, and Hunter, just to get you started, and I'm going to build them live tonight on the show. And for you audio listeners, I will definitely spell everything out so you'll be able to know what to pick and choose as well when you're putting your build together. Finally, we're going to answer some community questions that have been submitted by our Discord, and maybe even some for our guests tonight. Oh yeah, and we might be adding some music to our Guardian Downcast show playlist as well. The links to those playlists will from Spotify and Apple Music will be listed in our show notes if you want to follow along with us. And if that wasn't enough, Uncle Scumdeath is back for another Scumdeath's Corner. There's a lot to cover tonight, so if everyone's ready, let's roll. All right. Yeah, I agree. Let's do catch-ups first, and then we'll jump right into the interview. So I'll start with our guest to ask what he's been doing. So 3, 2, 1. Well, before we get into our interview, as our custom, we usually like to go around and catch up on what we've been doing in the week in gaming and life and entertainment, whatever. Magic Mike, since you're our guest of honor tonight, what have you been doing in gaming? What have you been doing in life, man? I mean, how's your week gone so far?
Mainly just work and catching up on the story in Destiny.
What do you think about it so far?
I'm liking it. I've only gotten to the part where you get the cutscene with the 3 sisters.
Oh yeah, that was very good. I hate how some of the
That's as
dialogue.
far as I've gotten.
Yeah, I hate how some of the dialogue goes missing, but I know, I guess it is what it is. But I think Zivu Arath you couldn't hear on that part, but yeah, it was really good. What do you watch any shows? Anything else you got going on in your life through the week?
No, I don't have time for anything else really.
And you're working, man. I like it. We're gonna find out more about that in a little bit.
50 hours.
Yep, I hear you, man. Kingsley, how about you, man? I know you're under the weather tonight, but what have you been doing this week, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been doing lots, and really, my sickness just started quickly
That's right.
today. Even last night, I was feeling great, but I have been outside of Destiny. I've been really hitting Assassin's Creed Shadows hard, loving it so much. There's so much to do in that game, new things that they've added compared to the old ones. There's even building of your, home area. You can collect stuff kind of like Pokemon or Animal Crossing, and then have different plants or animals around. You don't have to do that part, but you have a home base if you want to do that stuff. It was funny. My wife was also playing the game, and they have in this game the ability to add more of certain animals that I've seen even in other games. And so she plopped down literally 40 dogs in this one area, in this one field. They were just all running around.
Jeez. Wow.
But that's just the fun little side part. The game is just the normal exploration, adventure, action, so much fun. Been enjoying it so much. Destiny, hopped in a little bit. Do we want to talk about story now, or not what happened?
No, absolutely. Go into it.
Yeah. It was pointless to make a week 3 story, in my opinion. There was only one small thing to do. We had the 9 steps week 1, 7 steps week 2.
Yep.
And then really it was only 1 step for this week, except of course talk to, Eris again. It was a good enough mission, but I don't know why they had to make that into week 3. They could have just put it onto week 2. But it was fun enough. I got it done. I hopped in some other things with Sin. Got a expert Quarter Blades done, because you need that if you're going after one of the catalysts for the Barrow Dyad, by the way. And another little tip on that, since we'll just talk about it here real quick, because we may not talk about it later, is it's kind of like a hidden thing. Of course, if you read in the Destiny news or Reddit or anything, you'll know you need to go into expert Quarter Blades to get it. But it's easy, though. You don't even have to do good or anything. You just need to complete the activity, which just basically means you can only kill one boss if you need to. Just wait for the timer to run out, kill that single boss, and you're good. I did it solo the first time because, again, you don't have to do good. You only have to complete it. And then I ran it with Sin last night, and then you'll get the catalyst, or one of the catalysts. However, here's a tip. When you go in and do that, go in with the loadout of Barrow Dyad, a scout for your secondary, and then linear fusion. The reason why is because there's a quest step after that where you have to have a scout and a linear fusion. You can also do a sniper if you prefer over a scout. But, probably most people are going to go in Barrow Dyad, scout, linear fusion. By doing that, you don't have to go in expert twice, because it will count both together. If you don't do that, you have to do an expert run to get the catalyst. Then there's another step to go in with that loadout and run it again. And, especially if you're not in with a team of 3 and you're grinding the weapons or wanting something, most people probably don't want to be an expert that much. So definitely go in with that loadout. If you forget, what it was, just rewind this or ask in the Discord, and we'll kind of remind you what to do and why you need to do that.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's,
yeah,
I got a pet peeve
it's there.
about this week. Man, the story was so short. Why didn't they just put that in last week? It
No,
seemed like
exactly.
it seemed very anticlimactic. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we did it. Why couldn't we have done that last week with all the great Oryx saying and stuff? You know, all the Oryx dialogue, Oryx
Yep.
dialogue,
Yep.
not an orc.
Especially because, and we know this was a weird act. It was only 3 weeks long. However,
Yeah.
whenever we normally have seasons or acts or whatever the hell we're going to call them, the story never lasts the whole time anyways.
Yeah.
So they really should have, for doubly reasons, like only had the story for 2 weeks. It was pointless what we had this week. They
Yeah.
could have packed it into last week, and then we would have been good to go.
I was shaking my head. I'm like, really? Seriously? It took me like 10 minutes to do this. They couldn't have thrown that in last week. It just seemed like a waste. But I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to stretch that retention, right? People logging in to see
But
what
they don't
finished.
do that other times. I mean,
I don't know, man.
why did they do it this time?
I'm not justifying what they did, but it just seems
I know,
weird.
right?
That little short story at the end. I mean, and we're not going to give it away what happened because some people haven't played it yet. But I mean, I love the story. I love the way it concluded. I'm really curious to see what happens next week because next week is Act 3. It's
Yes.
really the final episodic part of Destiny before we get into whatever's next, right?
Yeah. But does that really matter? Seasons and episodes haven't been that much different.
I don't
And
know.
who knows how much different the other thing will be.
Yeah, who knows for sure. Yeah. What else you been doing, man?
Oh, that's about it.
Okay.
Nothing really interesting, TV or movies. It was mostly just been video games. I hope my sickness will be getting better the next couple of days, or else I'm out the whole weekend. But whatever, at least it's the weekend. And tomorrow was a light day, anyways, for work. Just a couple remote things. So
That's good.
I'm good.
Take it easy.
No worries for
Yeah.
me to commiserate over that. So I want to hear more about you guys.
Gaming, sickness is always better when you're gaming. At least it is for me. Maybe it's my hyper focus when I play, but I never think about being sick when I'm playing Destiny.
Not for me.
No.
I would rather just watch TV more
Really?
so when I'm sick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's different for everyone. I get what you're
yeah.
saying, but like because when I'm video gaming, I want to focus at least a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just something in the background, like you can do bounties and it's just more menial or whatever.
Right.
But so if I'm sick, there may be times where I don't feel like gaming and I may just want to veg and watch TV. But yeah, I get what you're saying also.
That's understandable, man. My hip, leg, back, whatever continues. I've been really having a hard time sleeping. And I went to my hip doctor this last week, and my real hip doctor, my first visit, and he's like, well, we need an MRI. And I say, okay, let's schedule the MRI. They call me back and say, well, your insurance company doesn't want to do an MRI until you get a few more physical therapy treatments in. I'm like, Jesus, okay. So please cancel that. And now I've got to book all these physical therapy appointments starting Monday, and at least get the documentation in. Insurance companies are funny, man. They want you to do you got to do all the steps before they're going to shill out that money for that MRI. So whatever, I'll play the game. Whatever. My copay is only $100, so I'm sure it's a lot more for them. For me, gaming wise, my buddy and I, Warcry, we played 3 games of comp. I got a pretty decent roll of Redrix S stock. I got a Desperado Zen moment with quick handling mods. My handling is like 94 using full bore and short action stock. I'm going to try it out, but as you're going to see in the TWAB, they're nerfing the Redrix S stock again because it's still pretty solid in trials and in comp and stuff. So I finished the week 3 story, and like I mentioned, I was a little bit of a buzzkill. I was like, that's like half a step. It should have been done with the week prior, but whatever. I went ahead and did that and get that done. I ran another Garden of Salvation raid with my co-host, Kingsley Mack here, and other members of our community, and we actually got a last wish in too. I guess Tajo had never run a last wish. I was up till 3 a.m. that night, but it was Saturday night, so screw it, you know. But it was great. I mean, it came down to me, of course, in Queen's Walk, where I was holding the orb and I had to slam it in, and I've never been the last person before.
You got it done.
But I was perfect. I was excited. I was like, I remember now. I've seen so many people do it. So we slammed it in, got that all done. But honestly, just like Magic Mike said, work has been kicking my ass. I've been so busy working. There's so much to work to get done. So only thing other than that, I've been completing my Guardian Games bounties, trying to get my Bright Dust built up. But other than that, and gaming wise, that's been my week. Now I do have one movie review that I want to mention here. My wife and I did see a movie in the theater using my AMC Stubs A-list membership. And the movie we saw this week was another independent movie called The Assessment. It's starring Elizabeth Olsen, you know, the Olsen twins, Himesh Patel, which you probably know from the nerdy show. He was the Indian nerd, I guess you could say. Gee whiz, I think it was that show. It was just ended. I need Zombie to whisper sweet nothings in my ear and tell me what that series was called. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Himesh Patel and Alicia Vikander, which I think is the wife of Michael Fassbender, I believe. It takes place in like a futuristic Earth where we have depleted all the resources and the planet is basically awash. Everyone starves to death, and I guess that's how life ended on Earth in this epic future that we have. But they put some kind of dome or protected area. No, it's not Community Scarlet. It's the one about the nerds, the math nerds, the engineers.
Big Bang
Theory. Thank you. Because that would bug me.
Zombie Pops.
Yes, Zombie. Thank you, brother. Zombie's my man. I'm telling you, he knows we're on the same wavelength. But yeah, Big Bang Theory, Himesh Patel. But it's apparently it's really vague how this is. But apparently there's like a portion of the Earth that they sectioned off and put like a dome over it or something, where they're protected from this futuristic world where it gets like really hot and everything dries up and dies. And it's kind of the cold color palette of the movie is very dark and bleak. It's like everything, all their food has to be scientifically grown in a greenhouse, or, I mean, they're like eating bugs and harvesting their own waste, and it's real weird stuff. But you know, they have really good advanced farming and technology, but the only caveat is that children in this, if you want to have a child in this new world, they can only be born when a couple is brutally tested by someone called an assessor, who is sent from the government. These assessors live in your house, in this couple's house, for a whole week, and are tested and kind of pushed to their limits. It's kind of testing them whether they're going to be good parents or good mom and dad. So it is a sad future where basic humanity is kind of sorely missed. And that's kind of the theme of the movie, is that humanity is kind of lost a little bit. Rotten Tomato actually has it 85% certified fresh from critics and 91% from the audience. And I agree somewhat. It's a bleak movie with kind of, you know, the sullen color palette, but something about it keeps me watching. Probably the tension of these three adults in one house, the small living area for a week, and what occurs during that week. I'm not going to give any of that away, but I give this one a solid 3.5 stars. It's a good movie. It's worth your time to watch. Of course, I've been watching Severance. I haven't watched the season finale yet. Don't spoil it for me. I did start watching season 3 of Wheel of Time on Prime Video, and man, I got to tell you, that first episode is like it's just fantastic. The sorcery, the special effects, everything is top notch, and the story is pretty good too. And I've watched the first 2 seasons. I've been following it along, and I think it's pretty good. Suits LA. Of course, after the show tonight, I'll be watching The Pit on HBO Max. The Americas, a little bit of, you know, that great cinematography they have. And that's basically it, TV-wise. There are some movies that are upcoming. April is loaded with really good independent movies. The Amateur comes out the 11th. Warfare, I told you about, that's the A24 movie from last week's topic of the week, April 11th. The Accountant 2 with Affleck, April 25th. Drop, which is a super creepy movie, that's April 11th too. That's gonna be a busy week. The Shrouds, it's about some burial system where they actually have cameras where you can view your loved ones in their grave. It's kind of strange, but it looked good. And then there's one called The Luckiest Man in America. That's April 4th, and it's about this man who really gets good at this game and this television game show, and he actually becomes a guest, and they don't vet him correctly, and he ends up winning like the most money in history. And it's just some big cover up and how they try to get rid of him or something. I don't know, but it looks really good. But other than that, far as catch up, that's my week. So, well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and get into knowing a little bit more about Magic Mike here right after this break. All right. Well, Magic Mike, you've been in our Discord for quite a while, dude.
Yep.
And I really don't know much about you. I think I've gamed with you a couple times, I think. But
a handful of times.
Yeah, probably in Crucible Nights or something, I'm guessing. But dude, where are you from? Where you hail from?
West Virginia.
West Virginia, you and Sin. Okay. Very cool. Well, what do you do in West Virginia, man?
I am a machinist.
CNC?
No, manual.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So what
I work on hydraulic jacks for like bulldozers and excavators, heavy equipment, stuff like that.
Oh, nice, man. You work on a lot of hydraulic stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be a very interesting job. So how long you been doing that, man?
Aggravating.
What's that?
Aggravating, not interesting.
Isn't every job aggravating, dude? Every job has its caveat, you know?
Yeah.
Something you got to tolerate if you're going to do it. But
I've been a machinist for, I don't know, going on 10 years now.
Okay. All right. Cool deal. Have you always been from West Virginia, or did you hail from somewhere else?
Yep. Born and raised.
Born and raised. A native. I like it. From one native to another. I mean, I was born and raised in Florida, and I still don't do all the stuff they say we do down here. All that weird stuff.
Well, you're not a Florida man?
I'm a Florida man through and through, man. I'm a Florida cracker, they call us. Florida crackers
I've seen
are
a lot of news articles about Florida man.
Oh, I'm not the Florida man. I am a Florida man. I know.
Okay.
I there's a whole series on Netflix about the Florida Man, or the Florida Man Project or something. It's some crazy stories, man. That's for sure. Well, hey man, how did you find Destiny? How'd you originally find this game?
Oh, well, I've always been a big Halo fan.
Mhm.
So I've always followed Bungie, and I seen they were working on it, and I got into not the first playtest they had, but the second one a little bit later, where it was just like one strike
Mhm.
with one of the worm gods. I can't remember which strike it was.
Probably Zol. It's probably Mars. That's early
I
parts.
think so.
Early parts of Destiny 2.
And then I kind of forgot about it for a couple months, and I just seen it was out one day and hopped in, and I've been here ever since.
Wow. So you're probably a Taken tot. You came in like kind of later in Destiny 1, or were you around from day one?
I joined before the first expansion.
Okay, so you're right there, probably with Crota raid, Dark Below. That was
Crota was.
Yeah, that was the first expansion. So, all right, cool. So you're just about. I mean, you might as well be called a day one player. That's for sure.
I played the beta, but I kind of forgot about it after that.
I got you. All right, cool deal. Well, when did you get into video games? Period. I mean, what's your earliest time playing video games?
Ooh, earliest. I think I had a Super Nintendo when I was pretty young.
Okay. All right.
Like I think like the old one, you had to blow in the cartridges and
Yeah, I did all those.
make sure it worked.
All of them you had to blow into. I don't know if it did any good, but it made me feel better when I did it, because sometimes it would work for some reason.
Yep.
Lining those pins up exactly. What was your favorite game in playing Nintendo, Super Nintendo?
I think it was one of the Marios. I can't remember exactly which
There
one.
are a lot of Mario games, yeah. Okay. Most people say that anyway.
Yeah.
Is there an early memory in Destiny that comes to mind that you won't ever forget?
Yeah, that would be beating Crota in the raid my first time. Everybody stands on the glass and shoots Galahorn at him.
Yeah. Now be straight
Was
with me.
that your first raid?
I think it was.
Now be straight with me. Did you pull the cord, or did you do it fair and square?
Oh no, we done it fair and square.
Nice. Respect.
My
Nice.
first time, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone did that. The bridge encounter isn't that hard.
I remember
No.
a buddy of mine who still plays today, the 300 bowler. I think he's still in our Discord. Him and I, we two-manned Crota. We both had Gallahorns, and he would go up there and do the sword.
Exactly.
It wasn't too
There was
hard.
people one-man, I thought,
Yeah,
but
I'm sure someone soloed it.
I mean, I know it was hard when it first came out. Sorry, I'm not trying to talk down anyone who did that, but
no, not at all.
It's in a way in Destiny 1, I feel like Vault of Glass was harder than Crota was, but
Okay.
I agree.
Nice.
Other way around now, but
I still like those weapons. Never got Cataclysm, or never got the what was it, the exotic from that raid. It never fell for me. I never got the crux of Crota that I needed to get. So crazy. I game with so many
Necrochasm?
people. Yeah, the Necrochasm. I game with so many people who got it multiple times, and I never got it to drop. There might be a theme in why I like craftable weapons, because I can determine my own destiny, literally and figuratively, when it comes to what weapons I want to use and what roles I want to have. This crap of running 100 raids and never getting it to drop, that's just a waste of my time. Sorry, it just is. I know the the RNG moments are fantastic, but it's just exasperating when you run it your 50th time and you still don't have it. I didn't get the Vex Mythoclast until it was nerfed to the ground and no one wanted to use it anymore. I remember standing on the moon going, man, this is the weirdest weapon I've ever seen, but I finally got it. And then no one wanted to use it because I think they nerfed the range on it or something. It was garbage after that, after getting killed in Crucible so many times with it. But anyway, I digress. What character in the game?
I can relate.
You can? Okay. What character in the game do you like the most in Destiny? One or two?
That's a hard question.
Yeah. Or maybe one you relate to the most, or just kind of like, I like this guy or girl.
Well, Cade was definitely my favorite.
Okay. So
Because
you're
I was a hunter main in all of G1.
okay. Are you still a hunter main now?
I'm not. I am a warlock.
Damn. We know how to pick them, don't we, Kingsley? Damn. I love it.
Yep.
I mean, I love Hunter.
I love them
Also.
all. I love them all, actually, because they all are fun to play, but
Yeah.
I always come back to my warlock because it's just so comfortable playing with it. Are you
I don't love them all. I don't love Titan.
I love Titan. Oh my God. I got a no one what was it when you get a 15 kill streak in Crucible? We ran out of medals playing. I was just messing around playing on my Titan. We ran out of medals in Crucible, which that's not easy to get. But
Maybe you should main Titan.
I'm probably a closet Titan as it is, because I love the movement. I love the tankiness of Titans, and their movement is really good as long as they're not flying in the air and then someone pulls a string and yanks them back. I hate that. That's the only thing I hate about a Titan. Let me ask you this: are you a solo player, or do you prefer to play in a fire team?
I do a lot of stuff solo.
Okay. And
like when it comes to like grandmasters and stuff, I'll get a fire team and stuff, of course, or raids or anything like that. But most of the other stuff I do solo.
okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can all do a Nightfall solo. I used to do it all the time in Destiny 1, but it just takes so much time, and you just got to wonder, is it worth the time to do it? I guess it's a pride involved, but it's always fun to have a fire team, especially if everybody knows what they're doing. Question for you here. Do you, Magic Mike, do you do bounties? Not putting you on the spot.
If I happen to grab them, I'll complete them.
All right. I'll take that.
That's not what Gator means.
That's not what I mean, but that's all right. No, I'll take what I can get.
The answer is no.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, it's pretty much no.
Why Warlock? What is it about Warlocks you like the best in Destiny 2?
I think it's just the movement.
Okay. It's nice to hover in the air forever.
I like being able to, yeah, exactly, just float across large gaps.
Okay. What activities do you prefer to do in the game? What ones? I mean, what's your weekly go-to when you play Destiny?
Well, it's PvE. I'm not a PvP player,
Okay.
but it would probably be Nightfalls or Grandmasters.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do.
How many times have you Gilded Conquer?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You probably have a few. That's what you
I
like
also
to play.
also like trying to one-man dungeons too.
Yes.
Right on. Do you have a favorite dungeon? And you can have a different answer, I guess, in a
Yeah.
team
Yep.
versus one manning, right? But what dungeons do you like?
Ghost of the Deep.
The
What?
Just
Who
kidding.
likes that one?
I was kidding.
Yeah.
The very first dungeon that came out is my favorite.
The one on
Yeah.
okay, the ogre. The one on Last Wish.
Dreaming City. Yeah.
Dreaming City. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah, that one.
And
exactly. Zombie. Where are you supposed to give me those
another one
terms?
too I like a lot.
The one on about the one on the moon.
It's the one on the moon.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's fun.
I love doing that one solo.
The boss at the end is just epic. That big knight. It's just so epic playing against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. What one weapon in your vault will you refuse to delete and why? You can look at Dim.
Oh, I'm
Shattered
looking
Throne.
at it right now.
Thanks, Steel. Shattered Throne, yeah.
Mm, let me see here. I know where it's at, but I can't remember the name.
It's okay. Take your time.
I've had it for a long time. It was
While he's looking, people, I
Nightfalls.
want to give shout outs. Magic
for it.
Mike, if you're not watching the live video, I swear you look like a cross between Kid Rock and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I can see that.
You've never said that
I
before?
can see that, yeah.
You totally
No,
have.
that's the first.
I need the
You totally
glasses,
have the
though,
cheek-
to pull off.
Yeah, you totally have the cheeks and the lips of Snoop Dogg,
Yeah,
and
he
of course the
does.
complexion of Kid Rock. But
He does.
yeah,
Yeah,
you look
That's
awesome,
pretty
man.
cool. That's pretty cool.
I could see that.
Couldn't find it. Is it a pulse rifle?
Nope, hand cannon.
And you say, is it from the vault?
I cannot remember the name.
Okay.
It's from Raid.
Oh, I know.
Time Lost.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You like the vault, the Vexy weapons. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Zombie, where are you? What's it?
I cannot find it.
Zombie, what's the hand cannon? I think I have one and I think I've deleted it.
Yep, it's Fatebringer.
Fatebringer, yes. Explosive rounds and there's some good rolls on that gun. That's for sure.
Yep.
Nice. Fatebringer, okay. That's a good answer. That's an oldie but a goodie too. Okay.
I think it's the Time Lost Adept.
Yeah. Okay. So you ran the difficult version to get that. Nice. If Bungie assigned you a small but versatile dev team, just to you, you're in charge, what would you work on for the future of Destiny 2?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to say more Nightfalls and more strikes because
Okay.
that's my favorite thing to do.
They do need more strikes. I think the strikes are boring. I miss the days when there were so many strikes to play. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you
Hey,
got like
next
strike
week we get a new one.
specific
Well, not
loot.
new.
Hey, that's in the TWAB. Don't bury the lead.
We've already known.
We already know.
But
We already
yes,
know
we'll
it's
talk
coming.
more about it
We already
later.
know it's coming. Yeah. Okay. Do you
I
have
agree, though.
Do you have
More
any other
strikes.
do you have any other hobbies other than gaming? Anything else?
Not really. I don't
Okay.
really have time for anything else at the moment.
Yeah. You must work some long shifts. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta ask this, dude. What's up with that gamer tag, Magic Mike? How'd you get that? How did you get that gamer tag?
It's nothing special.
No.
Whenever I first got an Xbox, when they first came out, I got the generated name, and it was Magic Man. When I came over to the newer Xboxes, it wasn't available. Someone already took it, and I was trying to think of something that would be close to that. And I just came up with Magic Mike
I
And-
swore it was from the movie.
because that's my name.
I was
Yeah,
wondering.
That
if it
was
from the-
before the movie.
before it. Yeah, of course. I always go. I
mean,
go to
shout
the movie.
out. Shout out to that. My name is Mike also, and I've kind of
Exactly.
used Magic Mike as a joke from time to time also. And yeah, it's a good gamer tag. I love it.
Yeah, it's
It's a
catchy.
good name too.
It's catchy.
Good name, good
Yep.
gamer tag, good everything.
That's for sure. How'd you originally find our community, Magic Mike?
I've been thinking about that. I'm
been-
not really sure.
been over 2
if I
years,
found you
so-
guys first, or if it was Two Titans and a Hunter.
Okay. Okay.
It was one of you guys though. It might have been Two Titans and a Hunter I found first, and then that led me to you.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of different discords in our Owl Sector Alliance of discords. We all kind of converse with each other. What is a motto or a mantra? No, that I'll edit that out. What is a motto or mantra that you live by? If you have one, not everybody has one.
I have one, but I'm not sure if it's a motto or a mantra.
I'm all
Go
ears.
for it.
Yeah.
Hold on. One second. Let me make sure I get it right.
By
here.
the way, I must tell everybody. A lot of times I'll give the guests the questions beforehand, but I didn't do that with Mike tonight, so he may be a little stunned because we're throwing
No
on
show
the
notes.
spot.
no show notes at all. I just threw him right at him. So, and we haven't gotten to the speed run yet. So,
Oh,
take your
no.
time, man.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
I like that. I think I've heard it from a movie.
That's a big one for me.
That's a great saying. I would call that a mantra. It could be a mantra. I like it. All right. My favorite question, and this may take some time to think about, but hopefully you have something quick you can answer about. What's one thing about you that our community may not know about you, Magic Mike?
It is a good question.
Are you actually a male stripper? No, sorry.
I'm not answering that question.
All right. You cannot confirm nor deny.
Yeah, if you think of one later, you can.
I mean, like any fun places you've been that, or something
Yeah,
unique that
fun
happened
fact.
to you earlier in life, a really fun thing that we wouldn't know. Yeah.
Crackle says he doesn't deny it.
I know, right?
Well, you know how I told you I was a machinist and I worked in machine shops for quite a while now.
Mhm.
I actually went to school to be a nurse.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Got certified and everything, and decided I didn't like it.
Man, we need so many
So you
nurses.
pivoted. Yep.
We need so many nurses now.
Yep.
That's the one thing I learned from this show, The Pit.
And-
Yeah, they emphasize that there's not enough staff ever,
And especially male nurses.
and you need those too because you need to restrain someone. I'm sorry, I know I'm not being misogynist here, but men are stronger than women typically on average. So it's nice to have someone.
Well, a lot of the
Yeah.
heavy lifting and stuff too.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly. You have to turn a patient over or something. I mean, yeah, I get it. Well, good deal, man. Well, Magic Mike, thanks for being heard and being known tonight on Guardian Downcast, man. I'm a little rusty, I must
Hey.
admit. We haven't had a guest in a while because we had Sin.
I want to know though.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I want to
Oh,
know.
yeah,
I don't know if I can guess. Sometimes I like to guess, but do you have a favorite drink and or dessert. I'm hoping you'll pick something fun on the drink side, but it doesn't have to be alcoholic. But tell us what you like.
Drink. I think favorite drink, probably cranberry juice.
Ooh, that's unique, and I love it.
It is unique.
With some
Yeah.
vodka? No, just kidding.
Little
No,
wine.
no, just plain.
No, it's cranberry can be good actually. I haven't had that forever.
Crackle, you crack me up.
Yeah. Crackle says the giant cake you can jump out of. That's your favorite food is cake, right?
Yep.
Or dessert. Anyways.
Are you-
Thanks for
Hollowed out
indulging me.
cake.
I always like to ask that question too.
Yeah. Are you a dessert guy? Not really, or
Not really. I don't really like many desserts.
that's cool. That's cool. All right, good deal. Well, we're not done yet. I have a modified version of our contest from long ago. But this segment is called the Speed Run. I've handpicked 25 questions from a pool of 1,000 submitted by our community. These are simple and quick questions to get to know our guest at an even deeper level. No time limits, no contest, just quick answers and quick questions. So what do you think, Magic Mike? You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
We'll just fire them off. Here we go. Number 1, solo or co-op?
Solo.
Incandescent, volt shot, or destabilizing rounds?
Volt shot.
Okay, that fits the season. What is your favorite Destiny exotic? It can be from either Destiny game.
Starfire Protocol.
Okay. If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, man, I like that. I haven't heard that one yet. Void, Solar, Arc, Stasis, or Strand?
Arc.
Okay, you're a Tickle Fingers. All right. Pulse, hand cannon, scout, or auto rifle? I think I know the answer here.
Hand cannon.
And I'm going to build on Grackle's answer here. Cake or pie? If you had to choose.
Probably pie.
I'm with that. I'm with you on that. But can't beat cake.
I'm
either.
with you too, but it would have been funny if you said cake.
Cake is so good though.
Yeah.
What is the latest you've been up gaming?
Till daylight.
Yeah, been there. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Best cheese on a burger? You might be judged.
Swiss.
Okay. I've had a lot of
Yeah.
Swiss hamburgers. Those are good, actually. Yeah. Okay. Stealth or
These
gun?
are fun questions. I almost want to answer them sometime. You'll
I
to
have 1,000 to
redo it, too.
choose from now. We'll you know what, Kingsley, we'll do one when it's just me and you.
No, I'm not interrupting. Back to Magic Mike,
Oh,
but
no.
I'm glad he picked Swiss.
Yeah, we'll do one for you too. I mean, I have 1,000 to choose from. Are you stealth player or guns blazing?
Guns blazing.
Taking King or Forsaken?
Taken King.
What is the best Destiny subclass?
That's a hard one. It's a tie between Void or Arc.
Okay. Anyone in particular of those? Voidwalker or Nova Bomb or
Noble Bomb or Chaos Reach.
man, I like that one too. I'm really liking Chaos Reach lately.
Yeah, no one's using tickle fingers right now.
I know. Well, I mean, Chaos Reach, man, come on. What is your favorite Destiny planet and why?
I think I like Io the best
Everybody says
because
that.
of all the plant life and stuff.
Man.
It's just pretty.
Yeah, it is. It is nice. I miss IO. That's for sure. Number 15. Who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Darth Maul.
Oh, I like it. Okay. You have all the black behind you there. That makes sense. What would be your spirit animal?
Honey Badger.
I see what you did there. All right. What no, because they're a mean little burger. Despite describe yourself in one word.
Calm.
Okay. Stoic. I like that. Okay. What is the best name for a pet?
Oh, that's a hard question.
I threw a few wrenches in here.
Ace.
I like that too.
I like that.
This one was for Kingsley. Is it GIF or GIF?
GIF.
Can you say it again?
GIF.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Does it start with a J?
Okay. That's what I thought.
But that's not a good enough answer.
No.
Giraffe starts with a G.
No, I like that. I like that. All right. This may be a thought provoker, and you can look it up if you need to. Favorite armor shader color?
Ooh.
I know they're pretty advanced.
I think it's called Scarlet Semblance.
Okay. I don't know that one.
I'm thinking that's what it is.
Okay.
I can't see it on dim.
That is really weird. I'm seeing.
It's the one that pulsates red.
Okay. Oh, I know that one. I've got that one. Yep. Okay. Good to know. So weird. I'm seeing Discord on 2 screens at once now. So weird. My computer's freaking out. Okay.
That's the one zombie.
Number 21. Name a blast from the past.
Can you be more specific?
Well, like something from your childhood or something that you loved.
Blockbuster.
Okay. Number 22. Would you rather be financially set but never game, or have a regular 9 to 5 and be an avid gamer?
Regular 9 to 5.
All right. What is your favorite dungeon or raid? Kingsley kind of jumped the shark on this, but what is your favorite dungeon or raid?
Well, my favorite raid is the one on the Dreadnought. I can't think. I'm not good with names.
The one on the Dreadnought? That'd be.
Kingsfall.
Yep. That is a good one.
Kingsfall. We said
Yep.
it.
Can you drive a stick can you drive a stick shift?
That's all I've ever owned.
I was just gonna say, if you say no, that's really gonna throw me, because you sound like you're like me. I was raised country, and I drove tractors when I was a kid and stuff. I grew up on acreage and property and stuff. So yeah, I kind of get that vibe from you. Okay, number 25. If you could stop time for one day, what would you do with it?
I'm not sure.
Don't have an idea?
I'll probably get everything done that I've had on a list forever.
Yeah. Everyone asks superpowers if they want to fly and stuff. No, I want to stop time, because I never can get everything done in the day that I want to get done. Good answer. Yeah. We're on the same wavelength there. All right. Well, Magic Mike, you've now completed the speed run. Hey, man, thanks for playing along. That's fun. Hey, I've got a question for all of you out there. Is there a speedrun question that you think we should ask our future guest or Kingsley? If so, let's hear it. Just go to our 2026 speedrun channel and submit your question. And at the beginning of 2026, we're going to have 2 drawings again for a $25 Amazon gift card just for you participating. What do you have to lose, really? But let's hear it. 1 entry per member will go into the drawings, but you can submit as many as you like. We'll be glad to steal any of your answers, but we're only going to give you credit for 1. So let's see how creative you guys can be out there. All right. I think what we need to do now is get into this week in Destiny. Be right back. Let's get the TWAB out of the way, and then we can get into my builds, and then we can get into some questions from our community and our question of the week.
I like the new way you do the questions for the quote speedrun, because it keeps the conversation going really well.
It just speeds the interview up too. That's what I always intended it to do, but then it became a contest, and the reason I had to quit doing the contest because everyone's ping rate's different. There's just no way to put it on an even playing field. If you have super fast
Exactly.
upload speed, you live across the pond, you're screwed because you got a whole
Well,
second
and there's
delay.
no way for you to read the same speed for every guest
I
either.
can't. I know exactly.
Yeah.
What's up,
I know
Flabber?
that because you read faster for sin than you did for me.
He's still holding that against me, Magic Mike. He's still holding that against me. I think your wife won one year. She actually split it with somebody.
You did, yeah. It was like the very first year or something.
She's very
I don't
quick.
know.
She's very quick on her feet.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Let's get to the TWAP then. All right. This week in Destiny. I'm going to share the screen on this one. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll get it pulled up here too.
Yep. Actually, I can share. No, I can share it. I can share it in the Discord if you want me to.
I mean, if you want to, it's nice for the people.
Yeah, I'll
in the
do it. I'll do it.
Discord.
I'll just remind me. I'll have to go back. To. I'll have to take it off before I go back to the other scene.
If
Okay.
paying, maybe not.
Full
But
screen share. There we go. And I will share my screen here. So, which screen do you want to share, bud? Let's share this one.
screen 54.
Go live. There we go. I have plenty of upload speed. I have a gig up and down, so I should be able to run all this without it falling apart. All right, here we go. All right, this week in Destiny for March 27th, 2025. Man, where the hell has March gone? It's gone. Dude, 3-4 days. We're on to April already. It's crazy. Everything's going to fly by. I just see it already. This week in Destiny, we are busy with Guardian games, but also getting ready for the third and final act of episode Heresy. Stakes are high, as they usually are with Hive Gods, when they're involved in anything. But with our allies have been working tirelessly to find all the hidden dangers inside the Dreadnought, and we are prepared for whatever is to come, like today's topics. See how smoothly I introduce those? Okay, all hands on deck for Act 3. The moment is here. We've been exploring the reawakened Dreadnought for some time now, and our allies have uncovered many hidden secrets thanks to your help, the Guardians. Now it's time we solve this situation with the Hive Pantheon. Our new area will be available in the Nether, along with new encounters and hazards. Court of Blades will see new foes and mechanics arrive too, and your Barodiide exotic submachine gun will now have 2 new catalysts, as well as its 5th and final intrinsic. Last but not least, there are new and darkest corners of Oryx's ship that require Guardians to explore and bring to light. Yep, it's time to delve into the Sunless Cell, our new reprise strike. Its Grandmaster version will also be available for the first official time. And it shows...
This is all exciting.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about some when you're ready, if you want to do the weapons first. But
well, yeah, they're just the weapons they're introducing, and some of them we already kind of knew about, but some of these are from the previous acts. But there's a glaive, the fusion rifle, the submachine gun I'm really liking, the bow, of course, and that two burst sidearm I love. But with Act 2 coming shortly, we're taking the opportunity to turn rewards in an expert Nether and expert Court of Blades as well. Our overall goal is to give you higher chances for weapons, adepts, and specifically tie this with your output. The long short of it, starting next week, you'll have higher chances for adepts the better you perform. Later boss chests and expert Nether will have greatly increased adept chances and higher score tiers, gold and platinum. Within expert Court of Blades will do the same. Additionally, players will have higher chances of an adept for an additional weapon reward at higher tiers within the court. I cannot read tonight, but Kingsley, what's your input on this, man?
So we kind of heard some rumors that there would be another zone for the Nether, and now it's confirmed. It's coming out for Act 3. I was hoping for Act 2, but it's not even a spoiler because there's really only one other zone in the Dreadnought anyway. So if you've played Destiny 1, it's the crash site, where the Cabal ship crashes in, and that'll be cool. And then that, along with the Sunless Cell strike, we pretty much have like 95% of the Dreadnought back, which I'm ultimately really impressed with.
I was surprised as well. Yep.
Yeah. It should be good. I mean, in some ways, I'm really concerned and worried for Act 3. In other ways, it'll be fun at first because here's the thing about the Nether. If you haven't hopped back in it much, you should, because even in Act 2, if you're on path of Ambition, which is the new one, Resolve is the original one, and Ambition is the new one. The encounters and the ads are a little bit different anyways. They're more Taken-ified and slightly different encounters sometimes.
Right.
Well, they're confirming it'll be even more new encounters in the Nether. I don't know if that means we're getting a third path or it's just happening otherwise, but I love that we're getting another zone. And of course the strike. I think this is one of the better D1 strikes that they could bring us. There's so many good D1 strikes when we're on that topic of there's so many good things in the game that we could have back. But if anyone's never experienced this strike yet, I hope they'll keep it fun. It did kind of soft launch for a couple hours when Act 2 came out, and I was watching some streamers play it.
Right.
And then Bungie turned that off like before anyone was able to pass it. But one group got to the boss, and I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything, but I'd say the spirit of the strike is still there, and I'm really excited for people to experience it that haven't done this strike yet.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite strikes from Destiny 1, that's for sure. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, Shield Brothers, JD Kent, that was what a well put.
Yeah, that's
a great strike.
That's why I said 95%, because when you talk about the crash zone site, that's kind of close to where the Shield Brothers strike is and goes. But on patrol, on patrol there was a way to cheese into that area, but on patrol you don't get into that area. But it's kind of all around that same area, and that's the only thing we don't have kind of back is that Shield Brothers strike. Also, the last little bit, but still we have a lot going on, and I don't know that this is. We still got to know more soon because Act 3 is long and this is all we're getting, but
that's what I was going to ask you. I just looked. I've got the game up, and I was looking to see if it shows what the how long the Act 3, and it's a
they've already now. Said it from the very beginning of the episode. Right now, if things don't get delayed even more, Act 3 is set to end in July.
Man, that's a long time.
Which is even longer than June if they kept it strictly at a year. So July is what we know right now. I'm sure we'll know more sometime in April. We've got to get a stream for Frontier sometime in April, and then we'll probably know more.
Okay. Yeah, I we'll just have to see, I guess. That just seems like a long time for a third act of a story. There must be something we don't see that's going to carry us out.
I don't know.
Because
I'm not so sure, because every other time when there's been something else, they've told us by now.
Yeah.
And the fact that they haven't told us there's like this big thing. I mean, we know there's that Rite of the Nine Dungeon thing, but that's not going to be enough. And that's not some big event like Into the Light or something. So
Into the Light.
I don't know. Like, why didn't they tell us? There's no reason not to tell us by now, especially if they're going to be introducing Frontier stuff soon. It's like, we need to know. My prediction is there's not anything, and we just have to be patient, and they're going to distract us with the Frontier stream in April, and we'll just deal with it and play until July, or if it gets delayed.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on at Bungie right now. I mean, I've heard some rumors that Marathon is definitely going to show something in April as far as some kind of showcase. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I've heard a lot of rumors about that coming. So maybe they're diverting our attention to Marathon for a little bit here. I don't know. There's something we're not seeing here, because there's no way a third act of an episode is going to carry us all the way until July. I just can't see how the player count's just going to go off a cliff here unless they keep.
Well, that happened 2 years ago. Remember, 2
know.
years ago when we didn't have Into the Light, but that other one that was super long, that the same thing happened. So there is a way that could still happen. And
very much could.
And it's sad and depressing, but it's kind of realistic too, because of them having less staff now from firing people and everything that's going on.
And I just put a new video out. It was actually a caption portion of one of our prior podcast, live podcast, how I'm a little worried about Frontiers, this big break, but between now and then, I'm wondering if it's going to chase away a lot of players before they decide to come back and try it. But who knows? Destiny players always seem to come back when there's new content, at least a portion of them do. So we'll just have to see. Guardian Games ending soon. We know the Titans pretty much won this and wrapped this up. Yeah. Whatever. The Rushdown Roulette final stuff. We have one more row of artifact perks. I wanted to mention these. The arrival of Act 3 means the artifact is getting an additional row of perks to further refine the current meta and test both your build crafting knowledge and your abilities, your enemy's metal. The enemies aboard the Dreadnought refuse to yield, so it's time to bring out the big guns. Those two stand, 1 to 2 those two strand perks are very strong, especially if you're using Barodiad. And what's more can we say about rocket launchers with unlimited ammo? Oh, okay, I'm intrigued. So we got Unstoppable Rocket Launcher. We got Vile Weave. Targets hit by your tangles are severed. Picking up tangle reduces tangle cooldown. Okay. Perpetual Destruction. Rapid final blows with non-exotic rocket launchers. Refund ammo and increase reload speed for a short duration. Well, there you go.
So that's huge.
That is huge.
So now it's not DPS. It has to be a final blow. So if you're using it on a boss,
Ad
you're not
control.
going to get the
Gotta be
ammo.
ad
But if you're
control.
using it for ad control, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be some strat that helps us do so much better other than clearing the trash ads.
Yep.
But it still sounds fun. I'm definitely going to try this one out myself.
And if you got a legendary rocket with bipod, you better be bringing it. That's even more. It will be loaded into your cartridge or whatever they load.
Well, that probably doesn't even matter with this perk.
Yep,
but,
that's true. That's true too.
Yeah.
Gold from lead. Picking up special ammo has a chance to grant heavy ammo. Okay, that's good. And the fifth column to shreds, dealing sustained damage to severed targets, unravels them. Defeating a severed target creates a hotspot of strand energy, creating woven mail to nearby allies for a short duration. There's a boost also. Unraveling projectiles deal increased damage. These deal further increased damage to severed targets. I don't know if I'm going to be going the strand route. What about you guys? Are you guys going to go strand with these new perks that seem to be leaning towards strand, at least this final row? Are they making us go to strand for Act 3? What do you guys think? Are you going to switch over to a strand warlock? I mean,
no, I mean, not me. If you wanted to answer, mention, I mean, like, obviously with the Act 2 stuff, it's not really like, it doesn't talk people into it unless they like it anyways. Like, for example, for the Act 2 stuff, they buffed a bunch of trace rifle stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm rocking all that. But if you really don't like trace rifles or don't use them, you probably weren't talked into using them. Even though it's really good, people, you should consider it. But same thing here with Strand. I think it's kind of like, unless you really like doing that anyways, who knows? Now, have you been kind of rocking the ARC build, Magic Mike, on Morlock, the typical one I'm guessing that a lot of us are? And what do you think about this?
I am.
Yeah.
And I'm loving every second of
It's
it with
such
the
a good build.
Lodestar.
It's just so good right now. It's
the
like
Lodestar. Unlimited ammo. That's my biggest thing I have.
Well,
is I hate running out of ammo with trace rifles, and the Lodestar, you don't have that problem.
Well, either that or the Delicate Tomb. I like it too.
Or Cold Heart. But I was thinking not so much the weapon, but the build in general, Arc versus Strand.
Yep.
I mean, of course, you can use Strand weapons, and I actually do use the Strand hand cannon generally for my primary. So I get a little bit of Strand benefits.
Okay.
But I don't think just because of this last row or, myself, I'm going to be doing more Strand per se. I'm probably if anything, I'll load in this Perpetual Destruction one. That's the only one I might load in, and then because everything else I kind of like better currently on my artifact. Again, I can do this is very rare for me to do a Bungie please, but like I totally agree with Todd and everything that they need, and a lot of other people think this way too, that
Look at all.
you got to give us at least, I don't know if I'd go so far to say
or
unlock
give us
everything,
give
but
us
at least
another
a few
slot.
more.
Give us another slot with each.
Well, yeah, at least with each row another slot or two.
Yeah.
Something like that at least.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's the final version of the Heresy artifact. I'll definitely be using Perpetual Destruction. The other ones I don't know yet. I'm sorry, Strand is just not very sexy for me. I like explosions. I mean, I'm a Nova Bomb and a Chaos Reach guy. Those are the two things I love using. So that's probably
The Strand Super was super powerful when it first came out, and it exploded things.
Yeah, I know, a bunch of needles coming out of your
It was
hands.
more powerful than Nova Bomb.
I know it was more powerful, but it just didn't seem more powerful. Nova Bomb blowing up and bursting into a bunch of ads. Give me, it's the same with video games and movies. Give me all the special effects. Okay, I'm done. All right, Iron Banner next week. Salad will be back to the tower next Tuesday for another amazing edition on our Back to Being weekly PvP event. Honor the old traditions and the Guardians who fought for humanity before you raised, and then get some amazing loot on the side. And if you remember, they have the new Warlord's Spear Arc Trace Rifle and the Peace Bond adaptive sidearm with some brand new rolls in it as well. And I believe they have that. Don't they have the new? They have the new Scout rifle too, right? Is that, am I too early? Is that not been released yet? Don't they have the chat? Don't they have the new scout rifle too at in Iron Banner? Oh, I bet you that comes out.
I thought it was just the trace and the
I could have sworn it was no, I'm not a Michael Bay fan, Grackle. I'm just the opposite actually. But I do like my special effects. No, I could have sworn Iron Banner, maybe it was a sneak peek. Maybe it was a sneak peek, but maybe I saw,
or maybe it was Trials or something else.
Maybe it was. Okay, whatever. Trials of Osiris this weekend. And yeah, that's all we need to know there. Like I said, just the highlights. Redrick's S-Stock. They say basically, I read this earlier. Yeah, it's great. It's coming down. The numbers are coming down. It's getting more in line with other weapons, but yeah, we're still seeing it in the higher level stuff as the weapon to use. And I got to admit, playing comp, it's still everyone's using it, including myself. So they're reducing range by 8. It's going to come down from 54 to 46. The handling is coming down even more by 5 to 69. And aim assist is coming down by 2, which I don't know if that's going to make a big difference, but it's going to be 80 now as the base aim assist on it. They're also going to tweak 2 perks that come with it. Lone Wolf, I guess it's been a little too strong with the aim assist, so they're reducing the aim assist bonus from 10 to 5. Reduced aim assist bonus when not near teammates from 20 to 10, and increased airborne effectiveness bonus from 10 to 15. You know, I always love how they make us feel like they're giving us something back. Airborne effectiveness on a pulse rifle. I know you can hip fire it. It's just, it's a wasted perk. It's a wasted, anyway, I'm going to ramble tonight if I let myself. Increased airborne effectiveness bonus when not near teammates goes from 20 to 30. Okay, whatever. Combined, this will result in a net decrease of 7 aim assists for Redrick's users when paired with base Lone Wolf, and a decrease of 12 from its maximum strength. The enhanced version of the perk will also be altered correspondingly. And the other perk they're going to be messing with is closing time. We also want to take a swing at overperformance of closing time perk on special ammo weapons. We have reduced the effect on special ammo weapons to better align it with other perks like threat detector, under pressure, and opening shot. So closing time, they're reducing the benefits by 50% when used on a special ammo weapon. Damn, that hurts. Okay. And you know how they buffed machine guns because nobody was using them in Crucible? Well, oopsie. Now they're gonna nerf them a little bit because I guess apparently everyone's learning that machine guns are very good in Crucible as a heavy weapon of choice. So what they're doing there is they're just going to reduce the magazine size to 22 rounds when you get it from the heavy ammo crate. So they're selling a backpack. We already talked about that last week. Sea of Thieves. They have a Sea of Thieves collaboration. Exploring an untamed world, battling dangerous foes, and collecting valuable treasure. Sounds like every Guardian's description of a good time. You can now sail the high seas with a little bit of Destiny flair in the shared world pirate adventure, Sea of Thieves. So there you go. If you're a Sea of Thieves player, you got some Destiny gear there you can get. The new Light Bear items bring a host of new Destiny-inspired cosmetics that let you represent your class and style. Jump aboard Hunter, Warlock, and Titan-themed ships. Okay. Complete the collector's cosmetics and ship's crest. You'll also find a selection of weapons and a costume set to level up your look as you take on your next adventure. Also, Brawlhalla is having a Destiny 2 collaboration as well. Guardian games may be winding down, but you're still looking to represent your favorite class in competition and settle some scores. Our latest collaboration lets you brawl it out. That's right. The Guardians are coming to the free-to-play platform fighter, Brawlhalla. Okay. Enough said. Player support report. Anything in there, Kingsley, we need to mention that is important?
I can't think of anything new this last week. Yeah. Anything interesting to you, Magic Mike? I don't. It's a lot of these issues have been here for a while now in this list.
Yeah. Shit.
So nothing new shit is broken as far as I know. Just old shit's broken.
Shit continues to be broken. There we go. We got some Destiny art. Got movie of the week is Guardian Games themed. That makes sense. And we're out of here. We usually see this space to see how much you love our community, maybe tease a little, but today we are scared. Have you seen this, Titan? One would say Syntheseps fashion got old after all these years, but this thing is nasty. Share your Bungie idea with us to let us get the Fearless Galaxies fashion emblem, friend. Now to do something fun. How about some Gambit? No Gambit. Sorry. All right, that's it. That is all. I'm going to quit sharing my screen here.
Why do they even mention the G word? I feel like Bungie should not even talk about Gambit.
They're not doing anything.
People are just going to troll them.
Yes.
Say, like, you haven't done anything with Gambit, so why are you even mentioning it? Are you going to do something with Gambit? It's almost like Bungie should ignore it at this point.
It's so irritating because they don't do any. Haven't even touched Gambit, and now they're mentioning Gambit. I guess it was a joke, but
exactly.
Yeah, hit hi to the Control F Gambit gang. Okay, all right, I'm done. All right, that's this week in Destiny for this final week of March. And coming up next, I have 3 builds for Titan, Warlock, and Hunter that you can jump into right away and get started into Act 3 coming up next week. Be right back. Okay, let me pull this up real quick. I've got my game screen ready to go here.
In a way, you don't have to do Warlock because we've done so many Warlock builds.
Well, the Warlock one actually is the Syntheseps. It's the Syntheseps. It's the build we've already mentioned, but I'm just going to quickly go through it just so people know what we're talking about. Just as a refresher. I'm really going to fly through this. It's really not going to take long. But this is based off an article that I read, and I said, man, those are actually pretty good starter builds for this. So let me pull this article up here. Okay. All right, here we go. Everybody good to go? I will, Can I share my screen? Yeah, I think I can share my game screen. I'll do that too. Let me get over to my main game screen here, and I will share my screen again. The game live. There we go. You guys should be able to see me in game. All right. Well, we've had some people in the Discord. I'm not recording yet. Thank God I remembered to do that. We've had some people in the Discord that have been asking, I'm just jumping back into Heresy. It looks like it's a lot of fun. And I really just need something to know to start to build going into this episode. I haven't been playing the first 2 episodes, and I just want to jump in and get caught up with something. So that's my intention tonight. This is based on an article from Screen Rant, and the author was Toby Stouffer. And he says this, like every new episode of Destiny 2, Heresy has featured some balance changes that, change the meta in a real fun way. Long gone are the Sunbracer Warlock days of Lightfall, but with the introduction of Bolt Charge and Chaos Reach changes, it's looking like Arc is the way to go for most in-game content, with weapons like Lodestar and Coldheart benefiting so heavily from the artifact mods, boosting Trace Rifles, Unity, and Power. There's no reason not to pick up one of the many Trace Rifles this game has to offer. Build crafting also focuses on one goal determined by the player. As with any build, it's important to figure out what do you want to build and what do you want to do to make it happen. Whether you're grinding out powerful episode, Heresy weapons, or doing casual nether runs with friends, the activity you're playing will determine what build you want to run. However, across most activities, each class has pretty clear front runners. So the first one is my Titan. I'm just going to pull it up right here real quick. And no surprise is that with the Titan, what they're saying is really good now is Arc. Of course it's Arc. Yeah. Arc is so strong right now. And what they've mentioned here is the Striker subclass. So I'm going to quickly go through it here. On the Striker subclass, they are talking about using the Thunder Crash, which I think you can use the regular, you can also use the Fist of Havoc as well, depending on what you want to do. But I like just flying in the air and just blowing everything up. But the Thanks to the interaction between how bolt charge accumulates and how Le Monarch applies damage, Arc Titans can set up their very own power plant behind the safety of their rally barricade. So when you combine it with Storm's Keep, right there, that's the new aspect that arrived with the new Arc changes. Because of the Storm's Keep, you'll be able to blast groups of adds and bosses alike with max stacks of bolt charge from across the arena, something that can be very helpful in Sunder Doctrine and other in-game content. Everything you'll need to make this build will work as follows. So obviously Storm's Keep, and you want to go with Knockout as your other aspect. You want to go with Spark of Ions, Spark of Shock, Spark of Resistance, and Spark of Frequency. Shock, it says defeating jolted targets or defeating a target with jolt charge creates an ionic trace. And you know it's all about those traces. With Shock, your arc grenade jolts targets. The Spark of Resistance, while surrounded by combatants, you're more resistant to incoming damage. Hence, that leans into that bulky Titan build. And then finally, melee hits increase your equipped weapons reload speed and stability for a short duration with Spark of Frequency. So if you look at this build overall, I have the Le Monarch set up right here. I'm using for my heavy, I'm using the Watchful Eye, and what you want to use is up to you, but this is a really good roll for Watchful Eye. It has Eddy Current and the new Elemental Honing. Dealing unique elemental damage grants this weapon a stacking damage bonus. This bonus is increased for kinetic weapons. So I'm getting Eddy Current here, which temporarily increases reload speed and handling after sprinting or while amplified. And this effect is improved when you're amplified. So this all ties in with the arc and the arc theme here. And of course, there's a bunch of other things you can use here. You can use a grenade launcher. You can use a linear fusion rifle, whatever you decide you want to use here. But Le Monarch is the key to this build because of the extended damage once you hit a target. So it makes it really nice. And I'm always, I'm a fan of Tenacious Mastery. This is the rocket sidearm you can get from new Iron Banner. And this one has reverberation and chill clip. So if this is built on killing a bunch of adds, there's nothing like freezing a bunch of adds and then just blasting them away with your subclass. So as far as builds here, pretty standard stuff. You want your siphon mods for whatever weapons you're using. Get your reloaders. Your damage resistance mods on your chest is always good for PvE, any PvE. I've got my arc weapon surge there, Kingsley. And then just about whatever you decide you want to have on your class item. And always remember, for Titans, definitely for Titans, you'll get your barricades faster. Make sure you have that 100 resilience. Very important there. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to, and I have all my characters here. We're going to move on to the Warlock. And like I said, with Warlock, you guys, we've already been talking about the Warlock builds for the most part. And this one is definitely, I'm having a lot of fun with this build as well. But this one, of course, is based on what Magic Mike has already been talking about with his Chaos Reach. And
this build we've mentioned a few weeks ago too. And that's the one that everyone's running.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to just really quickly go through this one, because just for people who weren't here in the last couple episodes where we were talking about it. But as mentioned, the addition of Bolt Charge to Destiny 2 has made Arc better on every class, as it racks up free stacks of per tick damage applied, creating huge bursts of arc damage on your target. This, combined with the Geomag stabilizers, super regen buff, given your Ionic Trace was buffed from 2 to 7%, which is huge, creates a perfect storm of attributes to really put Chaos Reach on top for Warlocks. So we are using, of course, Chaos Reach. Your aspects you want to use are Ionic Sentry. Kingsley turned me on to that one, and it is really nice. Your Electrostatic Mine, and for that, this is one of the new the new things they added when the new arc changes came. Defeat targets with kinetic or arc weapons or arc abilities to charge up an arc turret that periodically chains lightning between nearby targets, granting a stack of bolt charge with each hit. So you're instantly, almost immediately maxing out your bolt charge. And as Kingsley mentioned, This is separate from your grenade. I was using this in my boss rush modes when I was playing the Guardian games, and man, I was just destroying everything. It was really, really nice. And of course, electrostatic mind, defeating targets with arc abilities. You want to get those ionic traces. That's what it's all about. As far as your fragments, Spark of Ions, just like with the Titan, you want those ionic traces coming back. Spark of Shock, your arc grenades jolt targets. We have Spark of Discharge, Arc Weapon Final Blows, another ionic trace. And then finally, Spark of Frequency, melee hits increase your equipped weapon's reload speed and stability for a short duration. So there we go. That's the basic build right there. Whatever grenade you decide to use, I'm using Ball Lightning and my Pulse Grenade. And I put Burst Glide here because that pleases Kingsley. But for me, it's all about...
And most people.
Whatever. For me, it's about Strafe Glide. I think you can agree, Magic Mike. It's nice to just hover in any direction and just watch everybody blow up down below you when you're flying above them.
You can already do that on Burst Glide too.
Okay. No, you know what? I'm putting Magic Mike on the spot here. Burst Glide or Strafe Glide, Magic Mike?
I have to go with Burst Glide.
Okay. Because you can. Okay. You can move.
It's just faster.
You can move faster. All right, fine. I'm hard-headed.
The only thing better about Strafe Glide is when you're changing directions, you can do that a titch faster. But as far as being in the air, it's about the same. And then you get much better height and distance with Burst Glide. So overall, you get better benefits with Burst Glide.
Steel Zealot mentioned here too. You can also use a primary slot weapon from Guardian games to get class ability energy too. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Steel Zealot, or any of the Guardian games weapons. Yeah, exactly. If you look at the weapons I've picked here for my Warlock, obviously, like you said, Magic Mike, Delicate Tomb, or you can go Cold Heart, and that's Kingsley's favorite. Especially if you have the Catalyst that increases those ionic traces coming back at you. I've got Redrick stock here, but just like he said, you have Classy Contender on the Taraxipos. Final blows with this weapon grant class ability energy. Good call, Steel Zealot. That's a great call because this is one of my favorite. It is my favorite scout rifle, and I really didn't go hard this time in Guardian games because I already have a lot of Taraxipos, whatever you want to call it, the plural form of this rifle. I've got double row. I've got stuff I can show you in my vault. I have double mods for a lot of my Taraxiposes because I played so much Guardian games last year and farmed it so much. I like the Hullabaloo. I got this last year as well. It has chain reaction and auto-loading holster. But like I said, you can put one for all in here to get your health back, or you want to shoot faster, you can go impulse amplifier if really reloading is not a big deal. But this is one of my favorite, and it is the compressed wave frame. It's a heavy wave frame grenade launcher. I swear by this if I'm using my my arc subclass on my Warlock. So just some suggestions. Yeah,
I do think Watchful Eye is one of the better options though for this build.
Yep.
In the heavy slot.
Yep, we could.
Not that these other options are bad, but
Watchful Eye being
Watchful Eye with Jolt Shot and
that's the
overflow. That's the feedback and overflow.
Just so people know that Watchful Eye, you get that from the Nether. It's the seasonal heavy machine gun. That's arc. It has Rolling Thunder. It has a lot of really great. That machine gun is loaded with perks, and that way you don't have to waste your exotic slot on a Thunderlord because you want to keep your exotic slot here in the middle to get those ionic traces, right? So, and of course, I like using heavy ammo scout and finder on these, and I have this actually on my, I think it's on one of my enhanced weapons. It actually gives you a choice of even making this even more of a chance for heavy ammo to drop. That's one of the perks you can get on whenever you enhance one of the weapons now. Loaders, of course, resistance mods because this is PvE, and of course Geomag stabilizers is your exotic armor piece you're using here. And I've got double arc weapon surges because this thing is just going to be blowing up everything. So I've had so much fun with this. And then whatever, like I said, you decide to use for a bond on your exotic. I like proximity ward because I like when I do a finisher, it gives me an overshield. If you're really in a tough situation and you see an ad that has a dot over its head, you can finish it. It'll save you when you're about to die from a boss coming to stomp on you. It buys you that few seconds. So I like using proximity ward my bond. But it's the great thing about Destiny, man. You can do whatever you want depending on your play style. So anyway, all right, we are moving on to Hunter, which is probably my least familiar of all of them. But I do play Hunter. I do play him Hunter on occasion. So let me pull up my Hunter here real quick. And man, I got my Hunter looking badass. Look at this Hunter, man. I mean, I got the Star Wars gear for it with the 1s and 0s shader on it. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. This boy looks
I always
mean.
think hunters have the best drip, in
They
my
do.
opinion.
They do.
Even though I'm a Warlock
They
fan.
do.
I'm so envious of the Hunters. They look so good, man. But yeah, just looks like a dark overlord here. It's just really good. So okay, for Hunters, it's a little bit different with Hunters. Okay, let me read what the author says here about Hunter, because he says ability spam isn't just for Warlocks. Thanks to Gifted Conviction, that's the latest exotic chess piece for Hunter. With release of Prismatic, Hunters have begun to combine their various exotics in really fun ways. But one classic combination is Gifted Conviction with the Arc Ascension aspect. This is one of the aspects that's included in Prismatic, and it pairs with the rest of the Hunter Prism kit in a way that makes it really great for ad clear, even in in-game content. Now that Ascension counts as a dodge, thanks to semi-recent change, using Ascension near enemies now allows your melee ability to be refunded, perpetuating the gameplay loop of melee, Ascension with Gambler's Dodge, melee, profit. So for this build to operate, here is the pieces you're going to need. Of course, it is all based on the Gifted Conviction chest armor piece. It improves Ascension and Tempest Strike. And Ascension is what we're going for here. If we go and look at the Prismatic Hunter setup here, Ascension, long press while airborne, consume your class ability energy to summon your arc staff, propelling yourself upward and creating a burst energy around you, and amplifies allies and jolts targets. That just looks like a disruptor right there. So the other aspect is Stylish Executioner. Defeating a target affected by any elemental debuff grants invisibility and true sight. That is so strong on a Hunter, in my opinion. Going invisible is just fantastic. The aspects there, you have a lot of different aspects you can use here. I'm using Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. The next one is Facet of Purpose. Picking up an orb of power grants either Bolt Charge, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. I have Facet of Protection. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. That's like the same one on Titan had. Plus it gives you 10 strength. Facet of Ruin increases the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target, and increases the area of effect for solar ignitions. I'll explain why I'm using that one in a minute. And then finally, Facet of Awakening. Rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness damage or super final blows generates an elemental pickup of the matching damage type, and it gives you 10 resistance. So it's a free armor mod. So the reason I'm using the Facet of Ruin is because on my build, I'm using the Indebted Kindness that has Volt Shot and Loose Change. But also, if I decided to go with, I know what I didn't do. They have it equipped with a Quicksilver Storm, which gives you, like, when you get certain multiple hits on stuff, it throws that micro missile as well. They built it on this, but you can also use the auto rifle that is in last season's auto rifle that has Frost Armor. It has the look it up. It's driving me nuts. I love this rifle. It's an auto rifle that was in last season's called the Fair Judgment. It has Headstone and Rhyme Stealer. So anytime you get a headshot, you're going to get Headstone. You break that crystal, and you get Frost Armor, which gives you even more damage resistance. And that, friends, is what ties in to this fragment. Increasing the size and damage of the burst when you shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target. So that's the reason I use that one in conjunction there. You have a lot of stuff you can go with on your Hunter. You have a lot of different ways you can play the game. And you can see I haven't even unlocked everything for this guy yet. I'll edit that out. Don't look at that. Nothing to see here. I don't play my hunter as much. Okay. I'm a warlock main. So, but that are the 3 builds and that I want to make sure I mentioned that you can easily put together that just from everything that's available now in Heresy. I've got my Strand and Void Siphon mods on my helmet, Strand loaders, Void loaders on my chest piece. Of course, you want to go with your damage resistance mods on your chest piece, like sniper damage resistance. If you're in the Nether and there's some snipers just picking away at you, especially when your health is important, sniper damage resistance mod is nice to have. And of course, stasis and arc damage resistance mods as well. I just put stasis on here because I had an extra slot, but arc damage resistance is the key one right there. Void weapon surge, because I'm using a retrofit escapade. And why are you using a retrofit escapade, Gator? I'm glad you asked, because the way this article states it, gifted conviction buffs your ascension, throwing bouncing explosives nearby to jolt and damage your target. This feeds back into a loop, refunding your class ability and boosting your damage resistance for a short time. While this build doesn't rely on your super for DPS, equipping Silence and Squall, which is what I did, will allow you to deal damage in larger groups or adds or majors that might otherwise give you trouble. Your boss DPS is going to rely massively on what weapons you use, or pick something like the Queenbreaker or the Lord of Wolves for successful burst damage. But they mentioned on the, if you look at the, let's see what it said here. Here it is. Alongside Gamblers and Ascension working together, Ascension jolting targets means that Stylish Executioner should also kick in, giving you invisibility and letting you get back into your melee range, charging your dodge back up and letting the cycle continue. If you look at my Stylish Executioner here, defending a target affected by any elemental debuff grants invisibility and true sight. And after performing a Stylish Execution, the next melee attack where invisible weakens targets. Now, I was putting this together late last night. I'm trying to remember, why was I using a Void heavy machine gun here? Now I'm
Because
confused.
you can't kill a Void.
I can't, I'm confusing myself here. Well, okay, screw it. Then we'll go with the VS Chill Inhibitor with Chill Clip and Rhyme Stealer. There we go. Ties in with more crystal breaks, right? That's what I meant to put there. I'll edit that out. So there we go. VS Chill Inhibitor, Chill Clip, and Rhyme Stealer. Add that to the auto rifle that I told you about that does the same thing. You'll be breaking crystals. You'll be getting invisibility. You'll be getting a bunch of explosions everywhere. And you tie that all in with the prismatic, and it really works well. I'll admit, I am the least educated when it comes to Hunter. But man, look how good that Hunter looks, man. I like the look of Hunters. They are just beautiful, beautiful creatures, man. They just look so good. I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. But anyway, but that's it. That is the 3 builds that you can put together right away that will you can jump into right now in Heresy without really doing a whole lot. And like I said, these aren't max DPS builds that I'm talking about here. They are basically stuff that you can jump in right away and just put on, which is exactly what I did. I saved these so I can jump in right away and just start playing on my other characters, because we all know what to use on our mains, but on our other 2 characters, it's really nice to have something that's a go-to. And so thanks to that article from Screen Rant, I thought that was a really good article, and I just want to make sure I shared it with you guys. So there it is. 3 builds for your Hunter, your Titan, and your Warlock that you can jump into right away. All right, I think we got questions from our community coming up next. Be right back. Okay, that was a lot more convoluted than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. We got through it. You should stop warlocking? Deadpool, come on, man. What are you talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah, the grenade, stasis or solar, still zealot. Yeah, that adds. Yeah, I think I use a dust field grenade on my Hunter because it adds to that freezing target with yeah, that's perfect setup there. Like I said, it's one of my weakest characters. It's the one that I definitely need help with, but I've got that build now, so we're good to go. So all right, anybody need a break? We good?
I'm good. The sooner the better. I'm feeling a little tired.
Yep. All right, well, we're at the end now. We're at the end. Okay, questions for the show. We got questions from our community. And sorry, chat, but I'm going to have to leave you so I can pull up our questions for the show tonight. And let's get to those. And then before we go, we're going to do our question of the week, which shouldn't take too long. Just check my show notes here real quick.
Are we starting Destiny or non-Destiny?
Oh, no, we're going to jump around. There's a couple in there that are really deep, and I might save those for me and you next week. What do you think? Have you looked them over?
I don't care, but I just sometimes like to follow along if I can. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Where are you at least starting so I can see non-Destiny or
let's
Destiny?
start with Destiny questions, because I think there's one in there for Magic Mike too. Let's get to that question. All right. Podcast questions. Okay. Here we go. Well, we'll ask the one for Magic Mike first. Here we go. Let me bring us in. All right, boys and girls, it's that time of our show where we get our questions from you guys. And I'm going to start off with a question from the Scarlet KM for our guest. Question for Magic Mike. Is it truly first try every time? You're going to have to tell us what that means. First try every time. You get that reference?
I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to.
Oh, don't worry. He's drunk half the time anyway.
I've heard a lot of people say this. It's, when people joke around, they're like, we got it done first try, even though it was like the 10th try.
I got you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I say that all the time. So that might have been sometime I played with him.
That's probably why. Okay. All right. Good deal.
It's always first try.
Excellent. We have a question from Deadpool One Merc. Deadpool One Merc. Question for the show. What is your favorite exotic armor? How would you feel if they took the perk off of it or changed it to work with a super you disliked? That's a deep question. Let's think about this. Your favorite exotic armor, and they took a perk off of it, but changed it to work with your super that you normally don't use, I guess.
I can go first if you're
Do it.
confused how to
Please.
answer, because
Please, I want to see
can
where you're
answer
going.
this
Yeah.
much easier because I don't really have a favorite exotic armor. In fact, as opposed to a weapon, because they can change some. It depends on what is good for the season, right?
Mhm.
And in fact, if they were to change the perk, I would actually probably love that because it allows variation and it gets me excited to try something new. So I love this question, Deadpool. Right now, my favorite is just the Geomags, but I don't know if it's my favorite overall. And I would, if they changed it to something else, which would be odd, but like maybe another exotic would be a better example. I would be fine with that. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I would.
Okay. Do you have an answer for this, Magic Mike?
Well, my favorite is Starfire Protocol, and it's already been nerfed, so I'm not really sure how to answer this.
Do you have the new ornament for that? Because I hated the look of that thing forever. Have you seen the new ornament for Starfire?
I do have the ornament.
Yeah, it looks so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I hated that. I hated the look of that old thing.
I just never use it now because Arc.
Solar was so much fun back in the day. I'm thinking back when we went back to Leviathan. Solar was so strong during that season.
Infinite grenades.
Oh man,
I like when things change because then you don't just get stuck on one build.
I
It gets
agree.
boring.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree.
Yeah.
My favorite exotic armor, I've been changing so much because it used to be Astrocyte Verse because I loved blinking in Crucible, and the Astrocyte Verse had a new perk where when you blinked when someone was running at you, and if someone was near you when you blinked, it would actually give them a weaken effect, kind of blind them a little bit, kind of like a semi-smoke grenade. But lately, I love my prismatic, and I just cannot get away from using with my prismatic, with my stasis turrets. I just love using. I've still got my Warlock build. I love Getaway Artist. I used to never use these, but when you combine it with the Arc Grenade, you got a little buddy there that's helping you shoot stuff, and of course is making you amplified because it's arc. And then to boot, you have a stasis turret that's freezing stuff. I tell you, in the Nether, I love using this setup, but my new Void build that gives me, I'm using Devour. I'm kind of leaning on Devour. I have been having so much fun using that because health is such an issue in the nether. So it's given way to my Briarbinds build that it's kind of the same thing. When you throw down with the Briarbinds, when you throw down your class, your rift, you get a little void buddy that actually goes when you shoot at something and not kill it, like a yellow bar or something. This little guy will go and start leeching energy off of it and weakening everything around it. And combine that with the reception of getting getting your health back and stuff. I just can't go without that. So I'm a little split, but I'd say right now in Nether, I would say Briarbinds, but normally for everything else, including Crucible, it's my getaway artist. It's still just very powerful. And I never used to use that. I used to be an Astrocyte verse helmet guy. Ronan Red Lion, one of our mods in our community. Question for the show. I looked up the meaning of Koranios, the new trace rifle from Guardian Games. It means Thunderer, a title attributed to Zeus in Greek mythology. Very fitting. My question would be, what's a cool Destiny item name you're curious to explore the meaning of? I think I know. Mine would be. Do you guys have a cool Destiny item name that you'd want to explore further? Its further meaning? Either Mike?
No, I'm maybe because I'm tired and sick right now too. I can't think
I'll
of
give
one
you a
right
pass,
off.
man. I'll give you a pass. How about you, Magic Mike?
I have one.
What do you got?
I think I'd like to know more about the Deathbringer
Oh yeah, the exotic
exotic rocket launcher.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause that used to be one of my favorite rocket launchers.
It would be, I think it's a armor piece for me. Oh yeah. Apotheosis Veil. What a name. Never could say it half the time. Apotheosis Veil would be something I would like to learn exactly more about what it actually means. Sounds like a really fancy word. It's probably way over my head anyway. But okay. Thanks, Rona Red Lion. Let's go with one more Destiny question. And this is from Bazash. I think this is one of our UK members. And I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but after seeing all the hoo-ha online, has anyone used the PC app Lossless Scaling on Steam? If so, what are your thoughts, and has it been used on Destiny by anybody? This lossless scaling, it allows you to scale windowed games to full screen using the state-of-the-art scaling algorithms, as well as ML-based proprietary scaling and frame generation options, LFFG scaling options, LS1 AMD. These are all the processors. So what do you guys think? Lossless scaling. Have anybody know about this?
No.
No.
Pizash, you're just way too
Is it
smart
really a
for us,
Destiny
man.
question? Oh, I guess you could use it in Destiny also.
Yeah, that's what he was asking. Has anybody have been using it in Destiny?
I should have done research on this. I would be skeptical. I would say it's probably, I can't imagine it's going to be better through Steam versus just what's built in through Radeon or NVIDIA, but I'll look into it. But another interesting thing is, I'm trying to understand what scale window to full screen. Well, first of all, remember, Bungie did tell us they are switching. They're not even having full screen going forward, because they found a way through their coders that full screen was slightly better performance, but now their borderless window will be better performance. I don't feel like on most computers these days there was much of a difference between scaled windows or full screen anyways, so I don't know on that. Now, I do know just in general, again, I don't know what Steam's doing, but let's say you want to do upscaling or frame generation, and there is a point where it's not worth doing. With frame generation, you want to make sure your base frames are at least 50 or higher. So like you don't want to do frame generation at first, and you want to see, because frame generation gives you more FPS, right? But without frame generation, if you're lower than 50, then turning on frame generation will just make things worse. You won't have a good experience. You shouldn't turn it on. If you do have it on, it can make things look smoother in theory. I know this was the big things that people were up in arms about with NVIDIA's new cards. They were claiming that because they have really good frame generation that
Mhm.
their new cards were like faster than their previous better model, which isn't true. They're just adding more fake frames in.
Mhm.
The thing about fake frames is it'll look smoother in theory, but you lose some input lag because there's fake frames in there.
It
So
has to
even though it's
rescale it.
looking smoother,
Yeah. It has to do. Yeah, it
you
has to
don't
work in the
have the
background.
same you don't have the same responsiveness because
Okay.
of the fake frames.
Trade-offs.
So sometimes adding fake frames is not a good thing. That's just my general thoughts, but I'll have to look into this one more specifically and get back to you.
Okay, good to know. He did say this. I bought it for my old PC so it can run Destiny, but haven't tried it yet. Also, are we ready for a new subclass, or are we finished now? We have Prismatic. I personally am ready for a new one. No, Bazash, we need to keep Prismatic and just keep growing what's in Prismatic. Okay, moving on. My show, damn it. I'll do what I want to. Let's go with a few non-Destiny ones here, and then we'll head on
I mean, I'm
out.
fine with that too. I mean, I think we have too many subclasses in general,
Yeah.
so there's no point adding another one.
Well,
If
you're using
anything, we should have a new class, but yeah.
What they should do with Prismatic is just combine all the light and dark subclasses and give you all these super options, and just have a big Prismatic subclass where we don't have to keep skipping around light and dark or whatever. Just have Prismatic and just have everything built within that Prismatic. Just bring everything and put it together. Make it simpler for people. Then you don't have to worry about switching over to this or that. You can just do it on the fly in Prismatic. Anyway.
But you can't do, even though everything would be in there, you can't pick everything at
Yeah.
the same time. That would be too overpowered.
Yeah.
You would have to still pick certain ones of certain things.
Yes,
I'd be
there
fine
are
with
there are
that.
limits because you're blending a lot of stuff together. You don't want it to blow up the game. That's for sure. Let's go to some non-Destiny questions. We'll start with Oda Yukamura. He always has some interesting ones here. Question for the show: what shoe size would you want, and what shoe size is too big for a human? Well, I'm a 13, so I don't know about you guys, but
I'm 13 as well.
I like a good size 11. I think that's about right for a size shoe for a human.
Yeah, that's me. I'm an 11, and I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
I haven't really cared, probably because I'm perfectly.
Well, it's Oda. It's Oda. Oda always is out. He's off. He's definitely outside the box on his questions. So thank you, Oda. Appreciate you.
I would
buddy.
rather have though. Well, 13's not too big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Is it like I don't? I'd have to see a 13 compared to my 11 and see.
Some shoes I have look like clown shoes.
Gotcha.
I
But
wear,
if you're too small too, I would almost think that'd be worse. But
yeah,
you don't want your shoes to just evaporate in your pants.
Depends on how well the sneakers are designed, because a well-designed sneaker will look good at size 13 or size 6. They look good, but I've seen some. I mean, I like a athletic shoe that I really am liking now is Under Armour. They're making some really good quality shoes right now, and I can go to the Under Armour outlet here in Orlando and get some really good deals, like $30 really good cross trainers that last a long time, with really interesting color schemes too for anything I'm wearing. But there are some varieties of shoe, I'll even say Nike, even some Nikes that just look like Mike said, clown shoes on a size 13. And you're looking at them in the mirror and you're like, man, that's just not very flattering, man. It doesn't look good. But yeah, I like 11. I was a size 11 in high school. I was like, man, that's a perfect size. And then all of a sudden I just kept growing. Whatever. Walking Plague. This is a new member of our community. Says, question for the show. This one's for Gator. I've heard you mention bowling a few times on the show since I started listening last month. What is the go-to brand or ball? And have you tried anything with the new HK22 cover stock? I don't think I've tried anything with the new cover stock. The newest ball I have is a Phase 5. I'm a big Storm user now. I have an original Phase 1. Think about how old that ball is. It's like a decade old. I refuse to quit using this ball. I have a couple 300s on that ball, and it has very sentimental value to me. And the secret to that ball is to never polish it. Just let the oil soak into it. I know that's sacrilege if you're a advanced bowler, you're supposed to strip your ball and clean it and everything. It's just full of use, and it has a nice gentle curve on those nights when the lanes break down, which is almost every house in America. After that second game, the lanes break down and you need something that's nice, smooth in the pocket. But my Phase 5 I have to polish it every week. Otherwise I can't even keep it on the lane. It just zigzags so quickly. It just breaks so abruptly at the very end. So, and I have another intermediate ball that I haven't really tried it yet. But it's, I don't know if it's Storm or not. I think it's just some off-brand, maybe a Hammer. I can't remember what it is, in fact, because I hardly use it, but I won it. It was free. I won it one night in bowling. So, there you go. I want to use the Phase 5. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy on the back ends. I get a lot of splits with that ball, and it's just infuriating when you're trying to get a high score and you're trying to carry your team. Taja says, I want to make a balls joke so bad right now. But better call Laz as a follow-up question to the bowling question, except it's golf related. What is in your golf bag? What clubs, what brand, and hat, and what brand of balls? See, I brought it back to the full circle of balls. What do you guys golf at all? You guys golfers? I'm like a weekend golfer.
No.
Only on vacation.
I just bought some new irons. Starts with a Z. I can't remember the name of them. I just got a new bag too. Bag Boy. I think it's a Bag Boy is the brand. It's the kind that rotates. The base actually rotates while irons and stuff can move. Of course, I've got my my Florida Gator, my Florida Gator covers for all my drivers and stuff. It looks really good. I've got it looking nice. I'm a weekend golfer. I'm probably handicap wise. I'm probably a bogey golfer. Laz, if I bowl a 92 to 96, I'm happy for the day. If I bowl over 100, I'm not happy. So I've had those days too. So thanks, buddy. Let's see here. All right, one more question. This is from Jimmy Rayner. Question for the show. Will any of you guys buy the new Nintendo Switch 2? Anybody going to buy a Switch 2?
What do you think, Magic Mike?
All right.
Are you a portable gamer?
Not often.
Well, remember, that can do
There's
either
like,
or. It hooks to your TV, too.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
In fact, it does better when it's on your TV. I probably won't buy one. We have a Switch 1, but we don't use it tons.
Same here.
Okay. I bought a Switch for my wife for Christmas, and we still haven't been able to connect it to the internet. I think it's defective. Something's not right on it. My son is big time tech guy, and he had a hard time getting it to connect to anything. Even he brought it home and tried to get all the network settings and stuff tied in with his, and he still couldn't get it to connect. So I've not had a good experience with Nintendo Switch, and I love the Nintendo games. I'm a Donkey Kong guy, man. That's all I played in the arcades. But so many quarters in that damn game. So
You should have returned it right away. I know that's not a common issue that most people are having.
The reason is I bought it for my wife, and of course, what do you think it did? It sat behind the TV in its dock, in its cradle. My wife never played it. So I was trying to get my wife into gaming, and she likes Nintendo games. I mean, she grew up on them too, and it backfired on me. It just ended up sitting and collecting dust. And by the time I decided, hey, let's pull the Switch out and start playing it, that's when it was having issues, and it was way beyond its any kind of warranty or anything. So I'm probably going to hold. I haven't had a good taste in my mouth with Nintendo products lately. And it always seems like Nintendo's a little bit behind the curve when technology wise. I don't know.
Well, graphics wise, but because of the price and the ability of how smaller things are.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, again, the technology wise, the Wi-Fi thing is, I've never heard that with anyone else. So
Yeah.
It doesn't mean a Switch 2 you would have the same experience.
That's very true. It's very true. So
I always like looking at trends. Like if I hear multiple people are having a problem with it, because I'm always reading tech articles and stuff. And the thing that, to be fair, the thing that multiple people did have problems with, but this has been fixed now. But the controllers getting stick drift. That was the main issue with the
Pro
Switch,
controller.
but that's really odd. You had a Wi-Fi issue on yours.
It's so frustrating when you want to play a game and you can't connect anything. It's just frustrating. Okay. Well, that is it for questions. We'll have some more in there. We'll ask those next week. But what I wanted to get to next was our question of the week. And Jimmy Rayner came up with this, and I actually thought it was a good idea. And Kingsley's like, man, I don't know about putting questions in every week. And if you have one, Kingsley, you want to ask, you can supersede me and put one in a certain week if you
Well, I
want.
thought we were supposed to come up with it. Is it us or is it the
It's
community
us.
in general?
No, it's us. We
Okay,
basically
I think of one, but
okay.
I'm not going to think of one every week.
Well, what we do,
week.
I do is I actually put a survey out with multiple choices. And the question I asked for this week was, how many raids have you completed in your career playing Destiny in total? And we had a little speculation. Does that mean partial clears or no? Whatever gives you a completion on either raid, the raid Charlemagne bot or the raid report, whatever gives you a full completion is what I meant. Here's what we got.
Not full. It actually is partial because full is going to be a lesser number.
Okay. So
to be clear,
just how
you were saying one thing and then you were saying a different thing, but yeah.
I was just saying I was just trying to get a gauge of our community. I said, how many raids have you completed in total? Well, 5.88% said they've never done a raid. Another 5.88% said 1 to 5. The third, 11.76% said 21 to 50 raids. 17.65% said 76 to 100 raids. almost 36% of the community said they've run over 100 raids. I was in that slot. And then finally, just for shits and giggles, I said, how many people have done over 500? And Kingsley, I think you're part of that club too. Was almost 12% of our community said they've done over 500 raids. That is amazing. So
we need more people to answer next time.
Yep.
I don't know if this is very indicative of the community. How many total answers? There was only about
we had to
or so.
We had to go. I had to go with the percentages because, but that's why, like I said, I try to encourage everyone. If you want to answer our survey, and like I said, I'll read out the questions every week. But we did have some comments here. Tajo Trade said, I just seen you ask an additional question in there. I'm at about 16 full clears. The reason I don't have more is it's a combination of laziness and feeling like they take too long to do. I get annoyed when a raid takes a while to complete. That isn't a knock against any other players, just a personal thing. That being said, just thought of the raiding seems like multiple hours long task, and that just seems draining. The same can be said for dungeons. I love running dungeons, but even those give me that dread or fear of them taking multiple hours. Most of the time, raids and dungeons usually don't, but that is just my expectation is going in. So
I like the comment, and I'm surprised to hear that from Tajo because I felt like he's had a lot of fun when we've been in longer raids, but I think what you're trying to generally say. For me, I'll just say I would rather be in a long raid than a long dungeon because it's always more of a party when you have more people. Even though I'm an introvert and I'm not as social of a player, I'd way rather be playing with 6 people than 3. Right. Sometimes it can be a little awkward with 3, just kind of depending. So I like, and I ran another stat because I like what Tajo said. There's also another stat of how many hours you've been in a raid.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And hold on, let me see here. I think I was like number 1 or 2 for total amount of hours. And I'm actually, some people would say that's not something to be proud of because that means you're probably in a lot of raids that aren't getting things done. But I'm proud of it because it's kind of like a Sherpa /
right.
Just again, I like the aspect of being there with people. Sometimes when we run a single raid and it goes too quick, I'm like, I don't want to be done. I want to run another raid,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Deadpool 1 Merc mentioned here, I have 34 clears altogether. I want to raid more like I used to in Destiny 1, but time is not on my side lately. I've Sherpa'd 19 people. Yeah, that's another thing you can get from it. And Allocate even chimed in and said, I'm surprised people haven't checked the Charlemagne bot more today to find out what their full stats are. You can go to our, in our Discord, you can go to our stats channel where you can access the commands to our Charlemagne bot, and you can just do /raids and go summary, and it'll give you a whole listing of all your raids, how many Sherpas you have in each of those raids, how many clears, and then gives you a total time, and even gives you a ranking. Gives you a ranking compared to everyone else in the server. So I thought that was pretty nice.
There's no way it knows. He has a question. Does AFK break time count towards hours of range? Yeah, of course it does. Unfortunately,
and there's a lot of
no way.
We've had
unless we were
those.
to go out of the raid and back in, there's
Yep.
no way it's not going to count that.
Yep.
But again, I would say though, even though I have a lot of hours in raids, and yeah, we've had some longish breaks, but overall, still, when people go to the bathroom and stuff, that's a very small percentage in the big picture for how much I've rated.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate everyone who participated this week, and I will have another question on Monday morning for next week's show. So this was kind of last minute.
Please get more people to answer,
Yes.
because it would have been awesome if we had more people answer this one.
Well, it'd been more scientific too. Yeah. I'll think of another
might have to
question
loop
for Monday.
back way down the road.
Yeah. So
'Cause I'm curious.
just look for that. It's right in our Guardian Downcast section of our Discord, called Question of the Week, and it's like a every week I'll have a new thread for the like for the next will be episode 298, right? Gee whiz, we're almost at 300.
Yeah.
Almost there. So yeah.
If you don't mind mentioning, like, what's your number at? Or if you don't want to tell us that,
Oh no, I looked
what
it
raid
up.
have you run the most?
I'll give you my. I looked it up. I'll go to my stats channel
Magic
here.
Mike, but yeah, I'm curious for you too, Todd.
You wanna share yours, Magic Mike? Do you have them?
I just go to raid report.
convenient?
I'm not
Easy.
sure
What's your
what mine
gamer
are.
tag?
Let's
Just
see.
Magic
I'll
Mike?
tell you what mine are. Boy, a lot of people did check their raids. Yeah, they did. Yeah, mine's here.
Is it Magic Mike 6181 or is it? No, that's not it.
There it is.
Well, we can do Todd's if.
Well, I've got
what raid do you have the most
171 total raids. Remember when they used to do the in the Leviathan, they did the prestige ones, whatever you called them. I've done 8 of those.
Yeah, just a different word for
Yep.
master. Yep.
Yep, 543 hours total. Ranked number 161 in our Discord. 73 Sherpas total. That's 125 rank. Let's see, the most run. I know the one I've run the most on. It's one of the ones I've had the most fun running, and it is the Leviathan raid. I've got 30 runs. 4 of them being actually it's pretty spread out. I've got King's Fall.
Yeah, you have 33 of Leviathan, but you have
21
26 of Alta Glass.
21
So.
King's Falls. Yeah, I'm very spread out. Yeah, 26 Volta Glass. Yeah, I'm pretty spread out. The ones I've got the least amount on would probably be Last Wish, which we got one last week. Scourge of the Past only ran twice. Crown of Sorrow twice. Garden of Salvation, which we're doing every Saturday now because I'm trying to get I love the weapons in that raid. Very futuristic weapons. They sound good. They all are fun to use. So not Deep Stone. Garden of Salvation is the one I'm really, every Saturday, at least for the time being, I want to try to run that raid every week as long as everybody wants to do it, to get the red bars, the red border weapons for that. So what was yours, Kingsley?
My most run raid? Sorry, let me.
No, your stats while we're on the topic here.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned it in the chat, but it's easier to find on raid report too. So my total raids that aren't this again is like all raids run that you've completed, but not necessarily a full run, because a full run means you have to start from the beginning. And then I know I've been pick up in some groups, but 978.
Wow.
And then as far as my number one raid, let's see. I gotta look through here. I think I know the answer, but yeah, it's Deepstone Crypt, 174 clears.
Yep. You run out a lot. Yeah.
And then Garden is up there because I like Garden a lot. That's 104.
Okay.
Ew, Volta Glass is 114. People must have talked me into it. Can't believe I got to bring Garden back up.
I got you.
117 for King's Fall. I'm fine with that.
It's one of my favorite raids.
Last Wish, 110. My least, of course, is Salvation's Edge. I only have 1, but then of the old ones, Spire Stars I only have 11, because a lot of people kind of remember that was a raid that was considered hard, and not a lot of people ran it until they brought Moments of Triumph, and then they kind of revamped it a little bit, and then everyone was running it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't that hard. You just had to know the mechanics. It just came out at a time where it seemed hard for people, and not a lot of people got the initial clear, so there weren't a lot of people to Sherpa it.
Right.
But it ended up being quite easy, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you've
all
got
said
a lot
and
of
done.
You got a lot of raids, man. Yeah, I know that's your thing, man. You love the raid, and I love to play
Well, I've even
Crucible.
slowed down in the last year. I was kind of like of the
Mhm.
main people in the community, and I know there's a few names that are super high that I've never even seen these people talk in the community.
Mhm.
But basically, of the top names, I used to be number one, and then Zebrak kind of passed me within the last year because I've really slowed down within the last year.
Fluffy, by the way, Fluffy Potato, please don't tell me I haven't watched that game yet. I got it recorded. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I hope they're in the Elite Eight. We'll see. I got that. I'm watching that game right after tonight's show. So, just sorry, ball, squirrel. Okay. We have one more thing to do before we go. We'll be right back. All right, you ready with your music, Magic Mike? All you got to do is I'll just let you know. I'll ask you what your song is and why you chose it. What do you like the song? What is it about the song you like? That's all. Basically, I have to give the mysterious version of, oh, this band was made, and I'm not going to go through all that, but you know what I'm getting at. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Mr. Fudd would do his little song here in the audio version, so I will do it like we just heard his song. Thank you, Mr. Fudd. Hope you're doing well. Well, this is the final part of our show where only in our guest episodes, and we have not added music in a long time, but we add music to our Guardian Downcast show playlist. We have one on Spotify and on Apple Music. We have 1,231 songs representing all of us and all of our past guests, all of our past episodes. It's the songs we've been picking since July of 2019 when we started this podcast. So it's kind of a time capsule. It's pretty nice. So I'll start with our guest of honor, Magic Mike. What song did you pick for our playlist and why, sir?
I picked BFG Division by Mick Gordon. And I like the song because it's in one of my favorite all-time games, Doom.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. And you said it was like, what, 8 minutes long?
Yes.
Dude.
It's more of an instrumental.
I like prog rock. All my music is like Dream Theater's like 12-minute songs, 30-minute songs. I mean, they can get really crazy. Good pick, man. I can't wait to hear that one. I think I know what it sounds like, but we'll see. For me, I actually picked the song from this group already. It was formed in 2013. It's a side band by Julian Casablancas, the lead singer for the Strokes. He has this side band, and they have a brand new single that just came out this week. And they're very much an experimental rock band, which I guess a lot of synthesizer and a lot of that stuff in it. And I'm a child of the 80s. That's when synthesizers were really big, and I still love it. Think of a little bit of Depeche Mode mixed in with a little bit of the Strokes. Whatever it is, I like it. It's the band The Voids, and the song is called Blue Demon. So check that one out. I'll, of course, add our 2 songs tonight to the playlist as well. So, all right. Well, I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight in the Discord, on the Twitch channel, and in the YouTube channel for coming in and saying hello to us tonight. Hopefully we were able to answer questions you guys had, anything like that. Does anyone in the chat have any questions before we go? Final call here. Since you guys are spending your time with us live, is there anything you guys have wanted to ask us, or Magic Mike, or Kingsley Mac? I think he's still alive. You still there, Kingsley?
I am.
He's hanging in there.
I was thinking about putting a bonus song in Kid Rock WC
Do
SR
it.
featuring
Do it.
Snoop Dogg.
Do it.
Featuring Snoop Dogg.
Yes. Add it. Put it in our DM, and I'll pin it, and I'll add it. I'll add it. Excellent choice, sir. Excellent choice. That's a great pick. I should have thought of that. Good job. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out with us. Steel Zealot, favorite type of potato? Good night, JD Kent.
I know he's asking this. I know it's known as the potato state, but
Utah or Idaho, because he's in Steel Zealot.
I would. Yeah, do you guys have an answer? I do have some answers.
Favorite potato? I mean, they're not good for you, but I love twice baked. But a baked potato for me. In fact, I just had one tonight for dinner. Baked potato with butter. I'm a plain old dude. A baked potato. My wife will put it in the air fryer in our oven, nice and crispy, and she'll put that she'll put that rock salt on the outside of it, so it's just super salty. You don't even have to put salt on it. And just we like to use the white potatoes, the gold potatoes, not the Idahos. Sorry, Steele. We use the golden potatoes. They're a little bit, the flesh is a little bit, I don't know, sweeter, I guess. I don't know, but I'll put just some plain old butter and sour cream in it and salt and pepper on top, and I'm good to go. What about you guys? Favorite potato?
You got one, Mike?
I do have one.
Go for it.
A baked sweet potato with brown sugar and butter.
That is very good too. That would be a close
Yep.
second. Yep. And it's so good for you. Full of antioxidants. It's a superfood. All right.
Well, not so much the brown sugar, but
Not
yeah,
the
the rest
sugar.
of it.
Yeah, but it's a natural sugar. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
No, I no shame. I love that too. Anyways, I got you, Steele. I like. Well, I'll give an honorary mention. My honorary mention, second place, is crisp cut fries. I think they have the perfect surface ratio of crispiness to. It's not just like a regular fry, because like sure you can put several regular fries in your mouth and eat them at the same time, but there's something different about crisp cut. They tend to be a little crisper on the outside, yet they have enough of the softness inside when you start eating them. But my number one pick is poutine. That's the Canadian style. It's basically fries with the gravy and the cheese curds on top. Really, really good.
No, I'll pass on that.
Well,
Yeah,
gravy with fries is good, and cheese with fries is good. People have cheese fries. So
that looks a lot like my dog, Magic Mike. He has a split face like that too. Is that a pit mix? What is that?
Yeah. He's I think he's a Staffy.
Oh, Staffordshire. Yes. I think mine's a mutt. Mine's a mix. I can't even tell. I think it's got Coonhound and maybe Staffordshire. I don't know. I can't tell. But when it wags its tail, its whole body moves. That's that Coonhound in it. But
That's same as mine. It's old butt.
yeah, he's the greatest. She's my best dog. A best dog I ever had was a Greyhound rescue named Storm. That's the best name for a dog, by the way. It was solid black, blue eyes, and its back was probably 3 feet high. Gigantic Greyhound, but he was not a fast dog, and he was gonna be put to sleep. So we rescued him before he was put out to pasture. Or what they do to greyhounds is just unheard of. It's terrible. So I'd like to get a greyhound again. But yeah, got a bunch of mutts, and that was my favorite dog of all time. And what's funny is it actually thought it owned the house. It thought he was the alpha, and he grabbed some scraps or something from someone's plate and was just sitting there contently in his bed one night, just chomping away. It's like, yeah, this is my house. I reached in there and grabbed it away from him, and greyhounds got a huge mouth. And he clamped down on my wrist, and all I had to do was grab that scruff and yank his butt straight up in the air. He's at my side. Wherever I went, he was right there next to me and by my side. Best damn dog ever had. And what sucks is he hurt his leg, and I brought him to the vet thinking he just needed a splint or something. The poor guy had bone cancer. She showed me the x-ray of it, and literally his shoulder had a chunk eaten out of it. The cancer literally, like something bit its shoulder, just took a chunk out of its shoulder. It just killed me. It killed me when I had to put him down. But how do we get on this subject? Anyway, favorite potato, yes. Golden potatoes are very buttery. Maybe that's why I like them so much. But we get them from Sam's. You can get a giant bag from Sam's, and they're all pretty good size too. I wish they'd make them bigger. But yeah, and tots, fries, and vodka. I like tater tots probably better than fries. But now you guys are gonna hate me for this. I am very old school when it comes to fries. I like a nice thick steak fry, nice and fleshy. Now none of this crispy, burnt to my wife likes these fries that are like burnt and crispy where there's nothing left in them. They're all dried up. But what do you guys like in fries? What's your fry go-to? I think you already said it, Kingsley,
I like
right?
crispy, but it doesn't mean they have to be dry inside. So that's a
Yeah.
little unfair with that.
All right,
But,
fine. I
yeah,
might be
like,
judging.
did you hear what I said about crisp cut fries? Have you
Yes.
had those? They're very crispy on the outside and very moist on the inside.
I mean, they used to have one called Crispers or something that Orida made. man, they were so loaded with stuff that was not good for you. It was so loaded with fat. It's so much extra crap put in them. But what were you going to on fries, Magic Mike? I promise we'll end the suffering here and call it a night.
It's either crinkle cut or
Yes.
potato skins.
Oh man, I didn't even think of potato skins. I had those forever for a long time too. All right. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you chiming in with us, and I'll put probably some of that fry talk in the outtakes at the end of the episode when it comes out in audio this week. So for those of you who may not know Magic Mike, how can people get a hold of you, man? How do they contact you out there in the world?
In every Owl Sector Alliance Discord and a few others.
Very nice. Are you going to get into the YouTube game? Are you thinking about it?
Not quite. Not right now.
Okay. Fair enough. And
I'll spread the word when I do, though.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Well, we got a promotion channel. Promote away, dude. Mr. Kingsley.
Promote away, yeah.
Mr. Kingsley Mac. How do people find you out
Yeah.
there in the world?
Yeah, for sure. You can find me as Kingsley Mac everywhere and all the Owl Sector alliances too. I think the only ones I haven't shout out to. Did I do Potato Thumbs? I'm trying to remember.
We did HT Tech last week because happy birthday, HT Tech. Did you guys?
Yeah.
I think we all jumped in his birthday stream last night. Said hello. He was playing the new Salvation's Edge raid.
Yep. But yeah, shout out to everyone, and glad to be here once again. And just find me as Kingsley, all the places, or Kingsley Mac.
Very nice. It's Todd the Gator, 2Ds, GATR, on YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. Even my gamer tag, Todd the Gator. I think it's 7359 is my Bungie ID if you want to send me a friend request. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Hey, whatever you guys do, have a great week, and we'll see you guys in the Discord. Later, Guardians.
Have a good one.
And we are...
Oh yeah, Scum Death's Corner.
All right, let's see who stuck it. Who stuck with us.
I do kind of need to go.
Okay. Oh, you know what? It'll be in the audio episode. I'll play it in the audio episode. That way you have something to listen
play
to.
it now too.
I'll
Don't
give
for that.
Yeah, there's still people here. I'll play it. Why not? I'll play it live. We'll play it live. I'll just record it and then I'll put it in the.
I'm gonna step away. Maybe I'll stay here, but put it on mute. If you guys
no
go around
problem
when I get back,
no
great.
problem,
I'll
Kingsley.
talk to you later. Thanks,
all right, buddy.
Magic Mike.
Thanks, man.
Later.
All right. Okay. Uncle Scumdeath. Let's get him lined up here. I'll just do a little intro here. All right, before we go, Uncle Scumdeath is back for more. So, Uncle Scumdeath, what is going on in the UK today, brother?
Hello, welcome to Scumdeath's Corner. I am in the Emerald Isle. Apropos, I'm in Ireland. Me and the missus has come over to see her daughter and her girlfriend. So, yeah, we've been out here for like 3 or 4 days now. And just obviously been on the piers, eating food, looking at different various things. Yesterday, we went to the Titanic Museum, which is quite moving when you see some of the stuff that they recovered, like this violin, and because the band's played on, if you know what I mean, and that was quite moving. And we've been up, we've done loads of stuff, but it's been really good. And it did get mentioned today by somebody, who shall remain nameless, as soon as I'm away from my hometown, did I get given money or given food? Because I look like a fucking trampy bastard. But no, that didn't happen. So yeah, I was lucky on that one. It's probably because I had my missus with me, so I wasn't on my own looking like a fucking littlest hobo. So yeah, having a lovely time. But unfortunately, we've got to go home tomorrow morning. Back to the doldrums, But yeah, had a great time. I've never drunk Guinness before, so
He doesn't realize it's only 90 seconds now. Here's part 2.
God damn you, Gator, and your bloody timings on these fucking voicemails. Yeah, as I was saying, I've never had a Guinness before. I've been to Ireland twice fishing. And drummer in my band has got an Irish missus, and he's like, if you don't fucking have a Guinness when you're over there, is sacked from the band. So today I sat down, me and the missus had 6. Fucking lovely. So yes, apparently when I get home, it's not going to taste the same. Obviously, it's got to be transported to the UK, so it's not quite as nice. So when we get home tomorrow, we're going to go to the pub straight away. We're going to try one and see what it's like. Like I say, we had 6 today, so yeah, it's been really fucking great. And not looking forward to going home. It's going to be rather boring, but nah, I would live here. They don't pay council tax. They don't pay water rates. So me and the missus worked it out. If we moved over here, we'd be immediately saving 200 quid on bills. And the petrol where I live is like one unleaded petrol or gas is I don't know, 135, one something. Down here is like 120. So it'd take about 12 quid to fill my motorbike instead of nearly 20 quid. Oh, bloody hell. So anyway, I've got to go. Fucking Gator, you bastard. Love you.
He'd be talking forever if I let him. I swear to God he would. Thank you, Uncle Scumdeath. I'm glad you're having a good time, brother. All right. That's it. We're done, guys. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. There, you got the little bonus Uncle Scumdeath there. Scumdeath's Corner. So, again, thanks very much, Magic Mike. That was fun, man. It's good to finally meet you and hang out with you, dude. Appreciate you being on the show.
You too.
All right. Well, that's it, guys. Everyone have a good week, and we'll see you in the Discord. Take care. Bye.